so much for joining tonight's crafting class. We're going to make a junk journal, but we've already done it. We've already done the white quilt journal. So today is really going to be like just going over whatever we have already done, but finishing it up. So the white quilt journal kit was released back in April, and we worked on it April/May, or maybe it was March/April/May. We've been doing the white quilt journal for a long time is the point. And so I'm going to show you from start to finish for people who never see my lives, don't know what I'm talking about. I'm going to show you the journal from start to finish, talk about how it was constructed, how we made it. But really tonight is like the finale of this white quilt journal series. And it is going to show you all of the ephemera that was made. We're going to place all of the ephemera in the journal, decorate out the entire journal. So the finale really is nice because you get to see the journal really come to life. You get to see all of the ephemera, each little piece, which can spark a million other ideas that you guys can go out and, you'll see a pocket I made and you'll take it and you'll make it for whatever theme journal you're working on, right? So anyway, you're going to see all of the decorating. The decorating is the most fun part. It is also the most satisfying because when you're done putting all your pockets in and filling them with ephemera you already made, then you're good to go. So you're just going to really see the journal come together. You're going to see all the ephemera that was made. And at the end of this live, you should see at least one completed journal, possibly 3 completed journals. But they're done. The ephemera is here and it's just needing stuffed in those journals. So anyway, that's the white quilt journal. On Thursday night, we are going to decorate and stuff and fill the file folder journal, which was last Thursday's class. So every Tuesday and Thursday, this week, I will be doing the live free crafting classes where I teach you guys how to make junk journals, how to make ephemera for junk journals, how to decorate junk journals, how to whatever for junk journals, right? But next week, we go back to Tuesday and Thursday being live sale day. So next week is the official restart of the Inked Paper Art French Antique live sales. I import antiques from Europe, and I specialize in antique paper, documents, ledgers, all the beautiful calligraphy filled things we love, all kinds of other junk journal related or artist related supplies that come from Europe, including Italian paper, many other things, right? So next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern time is the official first live sale. I am doing something special that night, so I hope you all can join me for that. But live sales are starting next week. That doesn't mean we'll never have crafting journal classes again. It just means that we are going to have to find that sweet spot in the schedule to work them back in. So just for now, we're going to do this week, Tuesday and Thursday of journal classes, but next week we'll switch back to live sales. And there is something special on Tuesday, so make sure you join if you can next week. And yeah, I'm looking forward to finishing these journals most of all. I have really enjoyed crafting. I've really, enjoyed getting back into it. I just moved, which is why the room is like, completely white and different, I guess, behind me. It's just, we are still settling in. We're still unpacking. And so I had a long time where I wasn't able to craft, and I'm finally getting to craft again, make journals. So I don't call myself an artist. I hate using, I'm going to teach you. I hate these phrases, but for sometimes there's just no other term. Like that's the easiest term to explain, right? So I'm going to craft, but I make junk journals. I don't really do any other kind of crafting at the moment. I really just make junk journals. I used to do embroidery and slow stitching and all the other things, making jewelry, whatever, cards, all kinds of things, right? But now I really am only making junk journals. I've been making junk journals for a long, long time now, pretty much exclusively. And so when I moved, I went through all my supplies. I found a bunch of new supplies that I had tucked away, forgot I had, and that kind of really was making me want to use them. And so last Thursday, we made a really quick file folder journal. We started from scratch, just a plain file folder is what I used. And we turned it into a really beautiful journal. So at the end of this class, I will show you the journal that was made last Thursday. But this Thursday, we're going to decorate it. So lots and lots of decorating happening here. And I should have 4 finished journals on Thursday night. 4. I should have 4 finished journals on Thursday night. Yes. Okay, so I never call myself an artist because it's just weird to me. Like, other people are artists, I'm not. And I'm not really a teacher, but you guys always say you like the way I teach things, especially when I was doing the 365 videos. You guys said you like the way I teach things, so that's why I use teach. And we have all kinds of things coming next week. We unpacked a bunch of things. I found new things during the move. We have new shipments that came in during the move. So we have a ton of stuff that we need to start getting back into the crafting community so that you guys can get your hands on it and you can make all the beautiful things with it. So yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad that you guys like the classes. We'll continue with classes. Usually it's attached to like a kit. What I mean by that is you don't have to buy the kit to do the classes. The classes will always be free. But sometimes we're working on a specific theme, like the white quilt journals. Those came from a kit. And so in the near future, we will have a kit again. I don't have a definite date yet, but in the near future, we will have a journal kit again. And this is a physical journal kit. It's not like a printed paper kind of a thing or a digital or whatever. This is a physical journal kit that usually includes everything to make the cover and the signature and a bunch of ready to do ephemera, just a really nice kit with all the themed things so that you can make a really beautiful journal. That will be coming again in the future, but for now we're going to work on finishing some previous kits. I'm really great at getting the journals all made, getting all the ephemera. Sometimes most of the time I get the ephemera in the journal, but then I don't feel like it's finished until I spend like another 5 hours just fluffing everything and making sure everything is perfect and inking all the backs of things and whatever, right? So you can spend unlimited time making a journal. I really need to get better about like, okay, it's good, you can let it go. I can let it go to its forever home. I can let it go to someone else who will appreciate it, right? So I need to do better at letting my journals go. I think you guys will hear more about that in the near future, but for now, I need to finish some journals before we start any more projects. That's my goal. All right, how are you guys? Thank you so much for joining. I'm super, super happy that we get this time together. It's different when we have live sales. I'm focused on showing you the items and telling you about them and, counting how many we have and all of that kind of stuff. When we do the classes, it's much more relaxed and I get to hang out with you guys and see your chat. As long as I have glasses on, I can see your chat. And so, yeah, it's fun, very fun. And soon, hopefully, there will not be a blank wall behind me and we'll fix the camera angle and that kind of stuff. We've been working on the studio, getting it a little better. I know the volume, you might have an issue with volume tonight. We changed the mic volume. And also, I did try to do some things to help out with the echo, but the majority of the echo comes from the room being pretty much bare and empty. While it is a carpeted room, there still is some echo. So I know, we've had some camera, lighting, microphone echo, whatever challenges. Just know that the studio, it's not the finished, it's the work in progress. And it's going to take just a little bit of time to get that all situated. Hopefully on Tuesday, I have some things situated to make it better. But anyway, thank you for bearing with me throughout the move. Thank you guys very much for all of the support that you give me, the channel. It's weird because it's like I am the channel, right? So when I say the support you give me, I really do mean you coming here, you watching the videos, you leaving the wonderful comments, being here and supporting me, but also supporting one another and chat and being friendly and kind and, you know, all the good things, right? And supporting one another in the Facebook group and commenting on each other's posts in the Facebook. I mean, you guys are just amazing. You're an amazing group of people. You're very kind and giving. And I just want to say a giant thank you. I have really missed you all. And I am so happy that we get back together again and carry on with what we were doing. You know, when I bring those antiques over from Europe, it makes me happy to see what you guys make with them. When you guys get them in your hands, you create beautiful art. You guys are artists. I'm not an artist, but you guys are artists. And you guys make beautiful things and you post pictures in the Facebook group. And I just really appreciate that. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to switch the camera down to the desk and we will get started. Okay. There we go. We have some miscellaneous papers on the desk so I could focus my camera. All right, so let me show you the white quilt journals. I did just a little bit of extra work to them since the last time you saw them. I have 3 journals. I have this one here, and this one has the blingy lace on the spine, the blingy lace down the spine right there. Yeah, we're still fighting with some camera lighting in here. Give me just one second. I'll switch the light. It's a constant battle. A constant battle with lighting. Okay, so anyway, we have this one and it has more of the blingy applique style of lace on the spine. I will be adding the same lace to the other 2, but it's just not on there yet. We created these toppers last week, I believe. Yes, we created these toppers last week. They're made from cardboard, corrugated cardboard stuff underneath. We made basically a journal card that we liked and we put it on top. I added some lace on the inside covers of my journal, and it was really because I wanted to add lace to the pages, but my cover is considerably larger than my pages, and I just wanted this wonderful waterfall of lace. I have 2 more laces to put in this journal on the pages. I just didn't get it done yet. So I'll be adding some more lace, but it's going to open to the center spread. Going to look like that. So that's the first one. And then the second one, I just did a botanical flower down the side of my journal card. More than likely, I will put a postage stamp or something right here. I just have not decided on that yet. And again, this one's going to have the blingy applique lace eventually. And on the inside, I added that same lace. Some of them have lace pockets. A couple of my journals do. These are the other laces I put on the pages, just a simple little ecru one, gold one, and then this one is the white one. Now, I didn't put it on the blue paper. I put it on the coffee dyed paper. You could do it either way. No right or wrong. Not sure which one I prefer. I do like seeing that gold lace in there, though. The gold lace kind of blends everything out. Looks like maybe some vintage photo color. I don't know. I love that. So that's that one. And then the third one is this one. And I made it with the same corrugated cardboard stuff for the base layer. And then I made a journal card. I sewed around all of my journal cards. This one has straight stitching. The other 2 I decided to do messy on. The straight was okay. It's refined. But the messy I think looks better. And so I just, just got that on there so far. We're going to put that applique lace over the spine again. Inside, same lace on there, pockets. This one just has the same lace on the blue vellum in the center. And we did these without any digitals. So there are no digital kits in this journal. These are all antique pages. Vintage coffee dye. We've got antique rag paper dictionary, antique French documents. We've got some music paper, some French checks, like all antique things other than like some coffee dye. This is a piece of Florentine paper from Italy. We did make some pockets and stuff like that. but really I kept it without any digitals. I didn't want the printed look. I wanted the antique look. And so here's another old document with some seals on it. Beautiful. I love these journals. I think they came out really sweet. I can't wait to put all the pockets and stuff in them and fill them up. We made these out of a big envelope. We cut an envelope into the little shape there at the top. But these are made with authentic documents. And so authentic documents, obviously, they cost more than a printed digital. And I think they make a journal really special. You can feel all the different paper textures when you go through these journals. Digitals are great, but there's just some times where I just feel like I want to make something authentic. I want to make something true, old. You can feel the textures, just something a little different, right? And I'll make ones with digitals all the time, and I'll make ones that are antique all the time. It doesn't really matter. This is some old music bar paper right there. It's handwritten music sewn in. This is the back bottom of a document, rag paper book page, French ledger that's folded up for a pocket. We've got more coffee dye. These are French handwritten documents that are sewn in the back of our bag and the Florentine and the little French letter. But yeah, so, authentic piece of history, that kind of stuff. Whether you buy this journal and you journal in it, or you buy it and you just leave it out and touch it and pet it. Maybe it's just coffee table decor or shelf decor or whatever, but it does have some really special, unique old papers in it. And we're going to put ephemera in them. So, and we made them out of just a basic white quilt. I cut up some pieces of an old looking white quilt that's actually quilted, right? And it's just a soft cover journal. Like you can see, I can scrunch up the cover. But when it's full of ephemera, even now, it feels really great in the hand. They're soft and fluffy. When you open them up on your desk to write in them, they open up perfectly flat because they have soft covers. When you open these on your desk to write, they will lay completely flat. There's nothing impeding, you working in your journal. So that's kind of one of the benefits of a soft cover, a quilt cover. They open up more flat than a traditional journal. And also, the quilt cover allows you to really fluff out that journal and fill it full. Like you could make that really, really thick and full. And the quilt cover will hold it. Traditional flat cover, you really are limited in the spine space. But see how the spine can round out a lot more here because it's a soft cover journal. So you really you could put several signatures in there. You could make really fat signatures. You could just go crazy and stuff it full of ephemera. And a quilt cover, soft cover like this, will allow you to do all of those things much easier, right? So anyway, it's beautiful. It works. It's, great looking journals, I think. And when they're done, I think they will be beautiful. So anyway, tonight's class is really finishing up these. If you've already finished your white quilt journal, then just hang out with us, make ephemera with us, whatever you want to do. But my goal is to have at least one of these completely full and finished of ephemera. The ephemera is made, it is here. So, we'll probably end up making some just because I make some ephemera every class, but really it's focusing on filling them and finishing them up. And then hopefully they can go on to their new homes. They're not spoken for yet, but I have a feeling they will be spoken for. See. All right, so let's do it. I have Thursday's project sitting right there. We'll talk about that at the end. Let's get to doing this. What I would like to do, first of all, is clear off my desk a little tiny bit because I was working whenever I was waiting for this live to start. And I'm going to put all this stuff. I have a handful of lace, the beaded stuff for the outsides. I'm going to put this off to the side for right now. And we're going to look at the ephemera. And I think we need to put the ephemera into 3 piles. We need to divide it out so that I can see how many pockets we have. Ideally, I want 6 pockets in the front of the journal, and I want 6 pockets in the back half of the journal. So if you take your journal signature and you open it up to the center spread, you should, in my opinion, put 6 of the pockets. If you open your journal up to the center spread, this is the center spread, right, where your signature strings are sewn in. That's the center spread. You should put 6 pockets in the front half of your journal, and you should put about 6 pockets in the back half. So that doesn't include whatever pockets are here. I mean, you can count them, you can not count them, they don't really matter. But ideally, I have 12 pockets in this journal when it's done. And in those 12 pockets, I sell my journals. So I never sell a journal that has a pocket that is empty if I can help it. I do try to make sure if there is a pocket, there is at least something put in that pocket, right? And in these ones, because they're very antique, the last thing I will be doing tonight is I will be filling them with some ephemera. In addition to the handmade ephemera, I'll be filling them with some authentic French ephemera in the pockets as well. So, or clipping it in or wherever it fits, right? And so when I do the pockets, if you do 12 total pockets, you're going to need 12 either tags or journal cards or whatever it is that you're sticking inside of your pockets, right? Normally we make journal cards for pockets and we make tags for pockets. And then there are other special pieces of ephemera, like a folio or something that goes inside of a pocket. But anyway, you should have 12 pockets and 12 pieces of ephemera at a minimum to put in this journal. So let's look at our ephemera and think about 12 pockets per journal and 12 pieces of ephemera to fill those pockets per journal. Okay. So the ephemera for this journal got put somewhere on this desk. Somewhere. Oh, it's right here. I'm like, where did it go? I stuck it in a baggie. These storage bags from Amazon, I have been using them a lot lately. And so this is just some of the ephemera. We have more. Let me see what is in this one. Yeah, there's more in this one. So let's just see where we're at first, and we'll pull out another bag of ephemera. There's a bin and a bag, actually. So we're looking at pockets. Right now, I don't want to focus on, what goes in the pocket. I want to focus on finding 36 pockets because I have 3 journals. So 12 times 3 is 36. I need 36 pockets, guys. I don't think there's 36 in here, but we're going to find what we do have. Okay, so I'm going to show you each piece of ephemera. Here is one of these. So there's that one. There's that one. And I'm going to kind of lay them out so that you can see them. This is also a pocket. So there's 3 pockets. Here's a pocket for another journal. Here's a pocket like the first one. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 stacks. This needs finished, but it is also a pocket. This little piece of texture pasted paper is supposed to be glued on. I never finished those. So there's one of those, and here's one for the third journal. Then we've got one of these blue ones. So we're getting lots of pockets over here. One of these blue letters. Here's a blue letter for one of the other ones. Here, this is just a unique kind of pocket. There is only one of them, and we're going to put that one in this journal over here. So we're just making stacks of pockets. That's all I'm focused with right now are pockets. Here's another pocket. It's kind of interesting. We'll put it in that pile. Here is another CD envelope. We need one in here, so we're going to stick that in there. Okay. Then, oh, I'm so sorry. I left my watch on. I'm not supposed to leave my watch on camera. Okay, so next pockets. There's this pocket here We can put one of those in there. We can put another pocket like that, and they have little charms on them. Put one of those in that one. I have a lace pocket that can go there. I am trying to fill up the first spot first, obviously, because that's the one I'm going to put in this journal. So then I have two corner pockets. They're different, so I'm going to put those in there. I have a blue simple pocket. I don't know where that's going. Let's put that in that pile for now. Here's a third CD envelope. I knew we made 3 of many things. So here's a third CD envelope. Here's a third one of these envelope pockets. Here is a third of the French invoice with the dress pattern on it. Here is a third lace, or a second lace book page pocket. We can put that one in this pile. So there's that one. Here are some more corner pockets. So that would be for that pile. Here is one of these. That would be for that pile. I do have another CD envelope, and I believe everybody has a CD envelope. So we just have an extra. We have an extra CD envelope. Okay, that's good to know. I probably wouldn't put 2 in one journal, but you know. All right, so we have 2 of the little pockets. Now here's a third pocket. Here's the corner pockets for this pile. Here is one more book page lace pocket, also for this pile. And that's all I have for pockets out of this ephemera. But I have all of this stuff to put inside. So let's count how many pockets are kind of here. I know we need more, but we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, we have 6, we have 7, we have 8, we have 9, 10, 11 pockets that are handmade. And inside of the journal, we have some glassine bags, we have paper bags, we have some other built-in pockets within the journal. So if this is all I had, it would fill out the journal beautifully, and I could call that done. It would be great. So one pile I'm good with, right? This one we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Got to count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have 10 in that one. Okay. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in that one. All right. So we need a couple more pockets. Let me see what else I have for pockets quick. I also moved the location on my camera. Let me see what else I have for pockets quick. I have a bin of ephemera. I have plenty of bases should we just need to decorate something quick too. So for pockets, somewhere there are some pockets. Okay, I'm digging. So anyway, after I count out my pockets, after I count them out, here's one. We can put that one in. That's a double pocket. That'll work. I'm just looking for anything that looks like it goes with the theme, the style, the colors, anything really. Like we have some journal cards that are pre-made. Like I can pull that. We can definitely use that. I have tags in here. I've got a ton of other things in here. Here's a nice little pocket. It's a nice little pocket. That one can go in that one. This one we could stick in as ephemera. It's just a little folio pocket. So that one could go in as ephemera if we need more ephemera. All right, let's look in the other bin. I found 2 pockets. It wasn't very many, but I found some. Okay. I got one more bag of tricks to look in. This one has some Book page pockets, if we should need those. I might put the one or two of these in the file folder journal on Thursday. We have book page pockets if we need them. I've got, I can punch this one and make a pocket out of that. Here's another one that could have been punched and made a pocket. And I might prefer that other than the over the page. And here's two more of these. So yes, I do have some ephemera ready to go for these. I have some tags, some miscellaneous other things. I have lace samples that are made. So when we go to fill pockets, I have tons of things to fill pockets with. Just looking for pockets at the moment though. I think we have all of the pockets that are pre-made, like my ready to go ephemera. So let's glue them in. So for the next little bit, I'm not even going to worry about separating this out yet. And there's more. There's probably another equal handful of this. I'm not going to worry about what goes in the pockets at this time. I'm going to worry about any decorating that needs to happen, whether we add lace, whether we thumbhole notch something. If we want to decorate these, I'm going to worry about that. And I'm going to worry about gluing in all of this ephemera. For tonight, just so you don't have to sit here and watch me glue, you know, thing after thing after thing, we will focus on one journal only. When that one is done, if we had time, we could work on the other two. But we're going to focus on this pile and getting that glued into the first journal. So then this ephemera needs to go back in a bag. And we're going to work on getting it glued. So again, if you have already finished your journal, many of you have, you can hang out with us. You can make ephemera. If you did not make any of the pieces that are shown here with me when I made them, you could get ideas and you could make them right now. Let's put these piles off to the side. There we go. We're going to work on this pile. And we're going to work on this journal. So this is the first journal that is on my stack. Just randomly chose this one. And we're going to work on that. So I'm going to attempt, I might bump the camera. Sorry for my fat arm in there, but I'm going to attempt to move this monitor a little closer so I can see your guys' chat. Rosalind says she's making ephemera and watching. She got her chores done so she could craft. I wish I had gotten my chores done, but I'm going to craft anyway. This is Kim L, and she says she's making a masterboard in ephemera. I love making masterboards in ephemera, as you guys know. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, let's start. So where we have a pocket already, we'll just fill that later. But right now we're trying to put these pockets where they go. We're trying to place them. And whenever I place pockets, I don't just start gluing right away. I put them all where they're going, like in the pages, just set them there. And then once I'm happy with the placement of everything, when all of these are placed in here, then I will go back through and glue them. So right now we're just looking at the pile of ephemera. We're just kind of looking at it. There's a lot of different things. Just looking at the pile of ephemera, and we're trying to decide where do we want to put these. And obviously, you know, I don't want to cover up, you know, pretty things. If I can avoid covering up writing space, I will, you know, avoid that. Like I don't like to put pockets on the coffee dyed papers. I like to just leave them. You could do a little stamping or some other kind of stencil decoration, something, but I try not to cover up writing space. And so because we don't have digitals, we made a journal out of all vintage things. You need to find pages that you're okay with gluing something to. This is a good spot for a pocket. We could put this one here and it's, you know, nice. It adds color. It fits on the paper. I kind of like that. You know, it's right there in the front. Might have something just a wee bit more decorative. And this one, of course, you know, this one would need to go that way. I think we are just going to add this one here. I like it. I like the white against the, you know, robin's egg blue. The color, the only color I added for this journal is this robin's egg blue color. And it's hard to see on camera, but it's like a teal blue green color. This check right here is the teal blue green color. So we're going to add one pocket there. I'm going to keep going. And then I'm going to add another pocket. I add another pocket right here on this Florentine paper. And this Florentine paper will hold this guy right there. And I like that. That's good. And you know, you could journal back here if you wanted, but we're going to put that one there. This one already is a pocket here, so we're good. Now you could add another pocket onto that if you wanted. If you wanted to just cover up the front of that bag, you could just glue a pocket right on it. I think I like putting the pocket over here, so we're going to do that. And plus the lace will peek out the bottom, so that'll be good. I mean, you could add this pocket here too. Doesn't really matter what side of the bag you put it on. And then we're going to go here. This guy already has a pocket. Remember, I'm looking for 6 places, and I already have 2. And I think, you know, as sad as it is to cover up some of this gorgeous 1800s handwriting, there is a nice place right here for a pocket. So I think we could add a pocket there. And the pocket I would like to add, I want one with color. You know, it's very neutral looking here. I would like to add one with color. And I need to slip this watch off because text messages and whatever show up on there. So let's take that watch off before somebody texts me. My daughter, her husband, and my little baby grandson, who's 10 months old, all have stomach flu. And I have been chatting with her through text message today, and some of the messages have been a little you know, maybe she doesn't want it to just show up on my watch in front of everyone about how many times my little grandson has had blowouts of his clothes today. This is a really great one there. It adds color, it matches. The only problem is we just did another corner pocket there. But I do like it, so I'm just going to put it there. I don't care that it's another corner pocket. Maybe I do care. Well, in that case, maybe we could hinge on the CD envelope and hinge it on right there. We wouldn't cover up too terrible much writing. We could even paper clip it so it could be removable. And we would have that on there and it could flip out if you wanted to glue it. So we could do that. I like that combination. So we'll leave that there and I'll save this guy, even though I think he looks better. He does look better there, but I'm going to save him for the back. We'll put something pretty in the pocket and that will give me my color. So then this is the music paper. And again, somebody could journal here. So could I put a pocket here in this spread instead? Yes. I mean, technically I could put a pocket there, but it is very nice there too. And you could open it up and journal it. We'll cover up the song title though. I'm going to put it where we had it originally. I won't be so indecisive and waste our time. Okay, we could put a pocket here. It's kind of close to where we put other pockets, but this is a good paper to stick a pocket on. I could put the little corner one there. It looks good. It looks good everywhere. It really does look good everywhere. This one keeps falling out. I'm about to glue it just so I don't have to keep fixing it. For this guy, I could do something like this, but we lose whatever is written here. And this is super old ancient writing. So I think we're just going to leave that for now. Let's see if we can find another place. This is a pocket, so we didn't count any of those pockets. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of pockets already, so we don't need to, you know, jam everything in here if it doesn't fit. And so now we're to the center spread. So we need to find a place to put the remaining pockets. If I put this lace pocket right here, it does cover up this back side of the invoice, but if I glue this all the way down, it will strengthen the invoice. It will add strength to it, and it will be a pocket, and we can tuck something down in there. So that's kind of a good option. The only thing I don't like is the way that the lace goes. It really needs to be placed on this side of the page. So again, I'm going to deny that, but we have this one. But that one again, it's hard to get to that side. I think we're going to come back here and we're going to go ahead and add one here. We're going to add one pocket on this paper. Right here. Or right here. One of these places will have this one. I think we're just going to put it there. It's cute. You can kind of still see the writing. So we're going to put that one there. Okay. So on this side, so far on this side, I've got one pocket here. I've got another pocket here. That's two. I'm not counting things that are sewn in or whatever at this point. This is number 4 or number 3. Sorry. Number 3 is the envelope. And number 4 is this guy. So I've only added 4 pockets on this side of the signature, but we do have sewn in pockets. We have a lot of sewn in pockets. So I'm okay with that for now. I'll revisit it. Let's work on this one. Here we could add a pocket. You could journal on that. It's Robin's Egg Blue, super old document. Let's see if there's a better place to add something. Now here on this side, I could do that, where I put the book page there. The lace edge is going on the right side. I like that. We could glue that to the back of that. It would add a lot of strength, and I like it. So we could do that. Then we've got this one here. So don't want to add another pocket where there's already a built-in pocket. On this one, we could do this guy right here. We could do that one. You got to decide which one you want it on. I'm going to put it on this one, I think, until I see some other things. But yeah, I'm going to put it right there. I like it there. All right, it's going there. So there's that one. I just refuse to just take the first selection. I always have to see if there's a better place. There's a built-in pocket there. All right, there's a built-in pocket here. And now we need a pocket on this one. We have many pockets left to choose from. I've got this guy here. I don't really like the way the bag flaps in front of that one. I've got this one. That's okay. At least you can see some color. So I'm going to leave that one there. Okay. I mean, you could put a pocket on the front of that too. Like putting that there would also be beautiful. I'm just going to put it on the back side because the back side it's ivory. It's not white, but I'm going to put something there for color. So there's that one. All right, now we have some coffee dyed paper, and I have a feeling we are going to have to add some pockets to some coffee dyed paper. I could do this little blue envelope on this little piece of dictionary here. I could do that. We've got music paper here. If I add this one back here, I really like it next to the check. I'm going to look at adding it on that dictionary page. Back here we have a fold out of a very old 1800s handwritten document. It's very old rag paper. It's really beautiful. But we do have a nice place for a pocket. You could put this one right here and it could fold out, right? Or you could put it over there and then it could be put on as a tuck spot. And I like that idea. So I'm going to put it on the more sturdy paper and we can make it a tuck also. Okay. We have so many beautiful pages in here. Now, you could add something here if you wanted. You almost could have fit that. Not quite, but almost. This one will not fit either. And I'm not going to cover up this one. So these are the three pieces I need to find a home for. This one I'm less concerned about. It was just an extra pocket. Really, honestly, they're all neutral. They could go in any journal. But I'm going to keep looking. So in the back part right now, we're going to start gluing. But in the back part of my journal, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 pockets in the back, and I believe we did 4 in the front. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So we need to add one more in the front, and I want to add it somewhere in here. I mean, we have a pocket there, but it just feels like we have a lot of pages here without any pockets. So let's see what we can do to add one. I could, the copy dyed paper, I could put a little pocket on it if I wanted. It's very beautiful there. The colors all match. That is a pocket. And we talked about adding a pocket here. So either one of these coffee dyes are beautiful. We could put it there. I think that balances it pretty good. There's a lot of pockets, evenly spaced in there. So now I added 10 pockets to this journal. I added 5 in the front, 5 in the back, and there are a lot of built-in pockets. When I'm stuffing the pockets that I'm going to glue in here, if I find a place where, oh yeah, I really do want a pocket, I will add these in. But also, if you look at the style of both of these pieces of ephemera, both of these pieces of ephemera could just be paper clipped to a page. You could paper clip this on the edge of a page, and then you could put ephemera in. Same thing with this one. This one could be paper clipped on the edge of a page, and then you put your ephemera in it. So because these are paper clip-in ones, I'm okay with leaving them until I get these glued in and worked on. So let's set these to the side. I'm going to get out the art glitter glue. If you haven't inked your pockets, you want to ink your pockets first before you glue them in, obviously. I don't know if we inked everything, so I got that ready. Got my glue, and let's glue these pockets in and fill them. I have a feeling we will get to 3 journals tonight because, it's going to go fast. We're going to just glue things. I'll need to add lace to a couple of things, but we're just going to glue stuff. We're just going to glue stuff. If my glue works, we're going to glue stuff. You guys having a good night? What was for dinner out there? In Chatland, what was for dinner? You can tell I'm hungry. I had a couple tiny pieces of cheese and a small leftover bit of salad from yesterday's dinner. That's what I had to eat. So the point of me telling you that is of course I'm hungry. I'm always hungry whenever we're, it's evening time. I'm in Arizona. I'm always hungry. You're making small journals for kids, Lynn? That's awesome. Sounds like a lot of work. Uh-oh. What's happening in Chatland? Uh-oh. Roof roofing issues. Uh-oh. Yeah. I'm never moving again. It was a terrible process. So I really feel bad for people having to, redo their studios and stuff like that. Like it's a blessing because you get to go through all your supplies and purge and do all those things, but it is a lot of hard work. And you know uh, I'm not exactly as young as I used to be, and it was a lot for me. So I'm sure you guys having to do your studios, that's also a lot of work, a lot of hard work. So how many of you guys, because I can see right now there's 63, 65, 67 people watching. How many of the 67 people watching this video are junk journal makers? Just say me if you're a junk journal maker. If you make junk journals and that's what you do, that's what you're into, say me and let me know. Let me know who is a junk journal maker in this crowd. Carol made tostadas for dinner. How many junk journal makers out of 63? Let me see how many people actually, 66. How many people actually make junk journals? If you are interested in making junk journals, if you want to be a junk journal maker, if you've made some stuff, but you haven't quite made a whole junk journal yet, it doesn't matter. You all qualify as junk journal makers. Just say you if you make junk journal makers. If you make junk journals, goodness. I'm talking about Facebook group now. The Facebook group is called Junk Journal Makers. All right. There's that one glued in. It's a nice tuck pocket. I left it open here, which makes things easier to get in and out of. If it becomes an issue when I stuff something in here, I will glue that closed. I'm going to glue it. And I just said that because it sticks up. It sticks up and it's going to catch when I fold this page over. So we're going to glue that right there. There's that pocket. This one we are going to put on, or I am going to put on as a hinge. So I'm going to glue down, and you can do this with any envelope. Just glue down that little flap and let the rest of the pocket fly free, okay? And then they're going to stick their ephemera in the envelope right here. But to make it easier to get things in and out of, I usually punch this one with a really big circle punch to open up this a lot right here, to make it a big, nice oval. Unfortunately, I do not have that punch in here, but I do have my regular punch. So we're just going to regular punch it and hope for the best. We're going to be creative with our viewing ability here. And we're going to try to center it. I don't know if it's centered because I can't really see, but we're going to hope for the best. This guy needs a little tiny bit of inking. You can see that. Everything else looked like it had ink on it. But this guy, he needs a little bit of help. He needs to stand out. He's coffee dyed, but he needs to stand out just a little bit more on these pages. So we're going to add a little ink, and we'll add ink here too. I'm glad that we are a bunch of fellow junk journal makers. That makes me happy. I love that we can share all of this together. It's like the best friends group ever, and we get to do what we love. I love that. Makes me very happy. All right. And then this little flap, I'm going to just add a little bit. I don't want it super dark. I'm going to add a little bit. Okay. And then for the flap, just going to add glue. You could make it a tuck or whatever, but I'm just going to glue it. Just going to glue it. I'm going to try to glue it. My glue's mad at me because I didn't use it for 6, 8 weeks, whatever, 12 weeks, I don't know. But my glue's mad at me. And it says that its tip is going to need to be replaced soon. Just gonna place it on there. Now you need to try to leave just a little bit of room for your envelope so that it opens and closes properly. You can't get it all the way into the crack, you know. You can't push it all the way down. Well, you can, but it doesn't really open nicely if you do that. So there's that one. And that one. And you could put a little tab or something if you wanted when you flipped it open. You could put a little tab and that might be nice, but there's that one. And then we've got this guy. This guy is inked and ready to go. So let's see. It's a process. You have several done-ish. Let's see. You make them when you're feeling lazy, but they're so good. Oh, what is it? Tostadas. Yes, tostadas. Now ask how many aren't finished. Yeah, I know a lot of people have unfinished journals. I can't ask that question because I think there's like 12 or 14 or 16 or I don't know how many are over there that are unfinished, but I think there's at least 9 in all honesty, maybe 12. I don't know. I have them. I got them out. I put them on a nice shelf. They look so pretty in the other room. I kind of just want to leave a shelf of journals in there after looking at it. How many of you guys have a shelf of journals in your craft room? Do you have a shelf? Do you like keep some of the journals that you've made and you just display them on a shelf? Because when I unpacked, I put all my unfinished ones on one white bookshelf. I have glue on my hands. One white bookshelf, and I found that they look really nice over there. And I was thinking, maybe I should start keeping one of every series of journals that I make. And then I remembered how upset people get when they don't get one. So then probably not. But I think it would be nice to keep some journals occasionally. So there's that one. So we're going to put pockets. We're going to fill them. We'll make pockets if we need to, but I don't know that we will. I think that they have enough pockets for this one. Now on Thursday, I know we're making pockets, but I think we have enough pockets for this one. And then after I get these pockets in, I will evaluate and put lace on some. I might stuff them first and then put lace. I don't know. I usually do lace next. You have a shelf of finished journals and some some from other journal creators as well. That's awesome. I love that. Eventually I will keep one because eventually there will be one that just either is unloved and needs to stay here, or maybe there's one that just really, speaks to me and it all works out and I get to keep it. We'll see. So there's that one. Now we're here. This is inked. I'm going to glue the whole thing only because I want to use it to strengthen the page that it's going on. So you could glue this where you could put a journal card back behind it. I'm going to glue it flat onto this other page. It's doubled up rag paper. It's very sturdy already, but the page it's going on is an old antique invoice. And you can't put super heavy whatever on top of it. So we're going to just glue that flat down on there. I'd like the lace to peek out, but if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But you could have tucked something back that way. You could have put a journal card this way. I need strength though. So if I had done it on a regular printed digital page, I totally could have done a pocket back there. But on a invoices are typically kind of thin paper. They're beautiful, but they're not really thick paper. So there's that one. Yeah, right there. And it's really nice now. It's sturdy, it's thick, it's going to hold whatever we stick in here. I really like that. That's beautiful. There's another pocket. And now we're here. And before we stick this pocket on, we're going to finish it. I have art glitter open, so we're just going to art glitter this little piece. You could have glue sticked it, but it had a texture paste on the other side. And I just want to get that edge really close there. Okay. And then, like, you know, you can decorate a pocket up in the air. Yeah, sure you can. You can decorate a pocket anywhere. All right, so there's that one. How many of you guys take crafting supplies with you when you go on vacation? Like, if you go on vacation, maybe you go to, you know, somewhere tropical, or if you go camping, or if you go wherever, do you take craft supplies with you when you go on summer vacations, whatever vacations? A lot of people take summer trips. I will not get to, but a lot of people take summer trips. And I'm curious, all of you junk journal makers, do you take craft supplies with you when you go on vacation? As a general rule. I know sometimes we do. Thank you, Sarah. We'll see you later. You have a travel kit and of 3 totes, I see. Deborah takes craft supplies even at car shows. Deborah, I really need you to come and have craft, or have a go to the car shows that my father goes to, because he sits with women who do bad things. But it would be nice if he sat with a woman who brought craft supplies and just crafted, instead of having the conversations the women he meets has conversations about. He told me one time that there was a woman at the car show that walked by and flipped her dress up. Like, she was wearing a short dress and she flipped it up. And I'm like, how old was this woman, Dad? Because, you know, my dad's, he's, you know, pushing 80, right? And so I'm like, how old was this woman? And he's like, I don't know, 50, 60. And I'm like, and she walked by and like the wind caught her dress. And he's like, no, she flipped it up to give us a little peek. And I'm like, what is happening at the car shows, Dad? So he needs to sit with a crafting lady. So anyway, I don't know what the whole story was there, but that's the part he shared with me. So oh my gosh. There are, I think, a lot of interesting people that go to car shows. And I know, like, my dad has this little group of people he sits with when he goes, and he sits with the same people every time, you know. He takes a car and, you know, he doesn't walk around. He takes a car and sits there with a car, right? But he's sitting there and he's got his little group of friends, and it's kind of cute. I'm glad that you go to car shows. They're kind of cute. Lisa says she doesn't take craft supplies. She tried taking rubber stamps and cards once, but it distracted you from all the scenery and the family things. Yeah, yeah, I could see that for sure. I see that for sure. All right. There's that one in there. We're just about in. Got them all glued, just about. Small scissors can now go through TSA. That's good. A mini sewing machine. That's really impressive. I don't have a mini sewing machine to travel. That's super impressive. I don't know that I would want to take my sewing machine with me on vacation. And I'll just be honest and say that I think it's very temperamental. Like, this one is great, but I've had ones in the past where if you even bumped it while you were moving it on your desk, then it would be mad at you and it wouldn't work. So I don't think for me taking a sewing machine would be the relaxing type of thing that it probably is for you. But I think, you know, we got to find a good travel sewing machine that can get bumped around, something like that. And then maybe I could do it. I just don't want to take a sewing machine and get frustrated. For me, sewing can be frustrating. I don't know. I fight it. It's like you want to go fast, but then fast equals crooked. And I have zero patience for if something goes wrong and the sewing machine messes up and, like, you know, I don't know, something happens and you have to take the bobbin out, clean it all out, and fix the thread. Like, I have zero patience for this. I have decided that we have a lot of pockets in this journal, and I don't really need to make this one a tuck. However, I don't want to make that decision for the journal owner. So I'm going to leave it as a tuck. And if they don't want it as a tuck, then they can fix it later. They can glue it down or just choose not to put something in it. But I left it as a tuck just in case the new journal owner would prefer it as a tuck. There's a loose little bit of 1600s paper here. This one is from France in the 1600s. Cricket is part of your journal decorating. Oh my gosh. It can run on batteries. Oh, cool. Oh my gosh. All right. So that's going to go like that if somebody wants it to. Buying craft supplies while on vacation. You have to get something, right? And it might as well be something that you're going to use and bring you joy. We could add another pocket back there. We'll look at how they clip in and stuff later. So we added all of that. It's all glued in as far as I know. Next step, we're going to need to deal with some of the pre-made pockets. They need a little decorating. So, you know, the ones that I just put in here, you could add lace to that if you wanted. I'm going to add something that's more decorative in the pocket. But right here we have this plain paper bag. Now you can leave it a paper bag. Like I talked about, we could, you know, try to glue that nearly fits on there, not quite. Doesn't go that way. We could decorate this up with something. I'm just going to look and see. This is my pile of scraps on my desk. And so from these scraps, like here's a little glassine bag and a tag. We could just glue that there. I mean, it's super simple. We could make a little cluster and decorate this, which is kind of where my brain is going. So let's just, you know, whatever papers find their way up here. And actually, we do have some clusters. I forgot. We do have some pre-made clusters in the ephemera. So let's grab our pile of ephemera. Where did I put it? Remember, I'm like, oh, we're going to set this to the side and we're going to use it in a minute. Well, now I can't find it. But anyway, I have some clusters in there that are already made and we can just decorate with them. So let me find the pile of ephemera right here. Okay. So let's move on to the next stage where we fill pockets and decorate. Because there are clusters in here. Yes, there are. All right. So remember when I separated out my pockets and I put 3 piles on the table? That's what we're going to do now. I'm going to put 3 piles of ephemera on the table. I have 3 lace samples. These are 3 little French lace samples right there. So I have 3 of those. I have 3 of these big tags. I've got one there. I've got one here. This is my favorite one. I love the stripes on that one, so I've got that one. And there's one more, I believe, hiding somewhere. I don't know where it is. I'll find it in a minute. But there's two. I know there is a third. I saw it. I know that I saw a third. I don't know where it is at the moment, but I saw it. Okay, moving on. I will find it in a minute. I found this color of seam binding that I was looking for, and I might switch out the seam binding on these. But there is 3 of those also. There's 3 of those. I have, let's see. I'm looking for things that are the same. I've got 2 tags that look like that. I know there's a third one here somewhere. All of my ephemera is buried. Here's a small tag. Here's a third one of those. Okay. Then I've got the painted botanical tags. Yeah, I've got 3 painted botanicals. I've got the embossed paper decorated tags. Kind of just looking for the rest of it. There it is. There's the other one. Okay, now for ladies, I have a lot of ladies. I've got lady journal cards. I left these ones this way. We could cut them into tag shape if we wanted them in tag shape. But I've got a lot of ladies here. So some journal cards, some tags. Let's just flip through there. Make sure I got them all. I do. So for these, I'm just going to set them to the side. And when we need one to fill a pocket, we will get one out and we can decide at that point whether she looks better as a tag with her corners cut or whether we want her to stay a journal card. So for those, I'm just going to set them to the side for a minute. I do have 3 of the French lavender tags that I made. These are laminated tags with real French lavender in there. I do have 3 of those. I have a bunch of clusters. We talked about clusters. I've got a bunch of them. These little ones here, all of these are clusters, and they could, cover that. They could cover that brown paper bag. So I'm going to set those to the side and we'll look at them here in a minute. I have only 2 of these, and I don't know why because there are more, but I have 2 dried flower shaker cards, and there's little lavender petals in there, little lavender petals that move around. This one goes this way. And so I've got 2. I know there's a third somewhere. Here's a little lady journal card. Here's a lady journal card. Here's a lady journal card. Then I've got this little, it's a little set of tiny tags. They're really just scraps of paper. And I took them all and tied them into a little flippy tag thing. They're just little scraps, but they'll go inside of a pocket. That's cute. If we want something for the side edge of a page, I've got a little bit of ruffle. I have some fabric clusters if we need those to decorate something with. We definitely will use these things to decorate here. I'm going to put them up there. And then I have some miscellaneous ephemera, and this could go anywhere. It really, it could go anywhere. And I do have a whole nother bag of ephemera plus that. So let's take a peek in the other bag and see what else goes in the pockets. I just want to stuff them as full as I can. I did pull out 3 of our little flip. You can see this is the same lady. I pulled 3 of our little hidden journaling space fabric sewn little hidden journaling space thingies, whatever those are called. Yep, I pulled 3 of those. I pulled out some nice inventory tags. I pulled out some lady playing cards. These are little fashion lady playing cards. These are embossed paint chips. They were a video that I did. They're, you know, distressed embossed paint chips. And we can decorate with those too. So I'm going to put them up there at the top. These are, and these are perfect for this journal because we didn't use digital. These are French folded pieces of coffee dyed paper, and I did these embossed belly bands for them. They need to be sized, but we have one of those for every pocket or every journal. Let's see what else. I've got a bunch of miscellaneous tags. I have some super large journal cards. I've got little bits of decorating items. I've got a couple extra tag pocket dealies. Let's see what else. I have more pockets, but we don't really need more pockets. I might put these in here, but we don't really need more pockets. We have a lot. Here's more paint chips that are embossed, and these are really great to tuck into pockets too. So I'm going to put those there. Yeah, we pulled a lot of nice things, and I'm sure that there's more hiding here somewhere if we should need it. This baggie. All right, so let's start filling. I'm going to put these to the side, just like the pockets, and we're going to start filling. By filling, I mean filling the pockets, right? We're going to fill the pockets. So let's grab that same journal. Let's fill some pockets. Obviously, when you emboss the paint chips, the folders that you choose will have whatever pattern on them. You can see they're just paint chips from Home Depot or somewhere. Yeah, and you just run them through and emboss them. You could make it a little tag if you wanted. You could put coffee dyed paper on the back, and I might do that, and then do like a little hole punch and it's a tag. I think they're beautiful as tags. So there's that. You guys hanging in there with me? What brand was your paint swatches that you embossed? Bear from Home Depot were these ones. This guy over here is the Glidden. I don't know who sells what for the Glidden, but anyway, right inside of here, I don't know what to put at the moment. You could do like a botanical tag in there. We could get this really nice big guy in there. And if it's catching on the lace, see how it's wanting to catch? You can clip those corners. And the corners, once you clip them, they get caught a lot less. So we could put that there, right there. Now you could come in and add a little lady to that. And when I look at it here on camera, you can see how beautiful that tag would be if we added a little French lady down the side. So I think maybe we will add a French lady there. So let's keep working. We're going to find our pockets and things that need decorated. If you find something and you think it needs decorated, like, you know, you could take a page ruffle and add it. I think that's also a really great look right there. I mean, you could tear this or cut this and you could get two and decorate, you know. So we'll have to do a little embellishing. Let's just focus on pockets at the moment. Here we could do little journal card. Now she needs inked. I can see some loose paper. So yeah, there's going to need to be a little fix in here and there. I don't want any loose paper. Get that glued down. Okay. And then we need to ink it. All right. I don't make journals where I like I don't make ephemera for a certain spread. I always make my ephemera ahead of time. And then when I'm making a journal, I pull out the pile of ephemera that I made and I find a place to put it. And it all has a home. Like it naturally finds a place to go. Um, you know, I think it's easy if you know what your theme of your journal is, or if you have a general style, you can make ephemera whenever you want to make ephemera, and then it'll work in any journal later on down the road. So she'll just sit right there. She's kind of cute. She just sits there. We've got this one. This one holds a larger piece. We could put the botanical one in here. I like the colors together. So see, now this ribbon actually really looks nice with this pocket. So that's really cute. Now here's where we thought we would add a cluster. And this one covers up the whole front of that paper bag. It looks really cute. Like we could put that one there, but you know, I'm going to audition a few here. So here's one, also could go with that one. Nothing wrong with that. That one looks really cute as well. And I like the play on the roses here and the roses here. So I'm going to go with this cluster. I think it looks great. I don't want to take forever to decide. Now, when I make my clusters, sometimes I just tack them down and other times I make them like fully stuck. So I have to see whether or not I want to glue anything else, or you could make this a belly band and you could have slid something in there. I'm just going to glue it down. I don't think that I need to add a bunch of more places to put ephemera. We have plenty of ephemera and we have plenty of pockets, but you could have made this a little belly band. I don't want to glue my ribbon. And you could ink this bag. You could do a million other things, but we're just going to get that straight and glue it down. When you make clusters, you know, these are just paper scrap clusters. When you make them, they're super fun. You can sit down and you could make them right now while I'm, you know, just chatting away, but you can make them during this video. If you sat and you made paper clusters out of your paper scraps, you would end up with a pile of clusters that are just super simple and easy to decorate. And you could decorate something like this, like a paper bag, or you could plop her right on the front of like a piece of scrapbooking cardstock and you'd have a journal card. So when you make clusters, it just makes decorating easier later. Now we have this here. This you could stencil, you could stamp on, you could leave it plain. You could have something that hangs over the edge. You could make like a flip right here on the inside and it would flip around. I don't really have anything that can flip that I am aware of. I don't have anything that can flip. But I do have a little tuck pocket. And if I wanted to, I could glue that there. And then this is a pocket and it's open right here on the edge. And you could slide, you know, a card or something in there, you know, something like that right there. So even though I've made it this way, you could put it on as a pocket that way, but you could put it on vertically too, and then just tuck, you know, your card or something in there. I don't know if I want this here. It's cute. It works. We'll think about that. But for now, I'm going to leave this blank because I don't know what I want. Also, you could come in and you could do like, I have a giant fabric cluster. You could come in and do, you know, this giant fabric cluster right here. You could glue this one on, or you could have sewn it on to begin with and it could be a pocket. I really like that there. It looks nice with all this other lace. Let's glue that there. Let's glue it. I like it. So this is fabric and I want to use fabric tack on fabric. How many of you are going to make, how many of you are going to make paper scrap clusters right now? I'm going to see if I need to glue this all the way down or if I can get away with just that. Because if it could be a flip up journaling space if I don't over glue it. So I want to glue it so it's secure, but I don't want to over glue it. And I don't really want it in the crease of my journal right here. Make sure you don't get fabric in there. Okay, cool. Well, now we have a little flip up journaling space. That's awesome. I got a little glue showing, which I could cover up with a little something something here. That'll dry off that bag. But right here on the fabric, I went crazy and did it. Where is right here? We have these little guys. These little things are fixers and they cover up and they fix anything. So I will find something like this and stick it right here. But he's just floating around on my desk and there's a few more, but I don't know where they are at the moment. But anyway, so there's a nice little flip up fabric, lacy stuff. It matches the lacy stuff down here. It looks good there. I like it. All right. Let's move on and put some more things in this journal. And so maybe if one of these journals is speaking to you, I usually do a flip through. I try to do a flip through before you guys buy it, but I think that if one of you guys, if this journal is speaking to you, you can certainly reach out to me and we can possibly get this journal on its way to you after tonight's class. So that could go there, that she just kind of tucks in the pocket. It flips up. It's nice. I like it. I keep looking at this thinking maybe that needs to go there. And then you tuck something in it. It's really cute. I'm going to stick this here. I know it's another pocket, but I'm going to put it to the side and think more about it. But that would look really nice there because this is a coffee dyed card catalog card. And I just stitched laminated flowers. And I think that would make a really great pocket right there. I'm going to think about it. I know I keep saying that. Basically, that pocket could go anywhere, but we have so many pockets. Now, this one is a little bit more difficult. It needs to be something that is going to fill up this circle here. So it's got to be something wide, but at the same time, it has to be able to slide into this pocket. And so usually when I use CD envelopes, I make a journal card. I should have inked this before I put it in here. But usually when I make CD envelopes for a journal, I make the journal card that goes specifically with it just because it's a hard size. It's a different size, right? So I don't know off the top of my head that we have something that's going to fit in there. Like I could slide something in, but it's not really made for that. It's not the right size or the right shape. Yeah, I don't have anything that's square like that. That, I mean, that might fit in there, but I'm not sure it's what I want to put in there. It just might fit. It would need a tab. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. It's a little weird because it's not like covering the whole entire window envelope. I think we're going to need to make a journal card for that. And I just tore up my page. I think we're going to need to make a journal card for that. And that means we'll have to make 3 because there's 3 of those. This guy needs a big something. And we haven't put a lady in yet. And I have this lady tag right here. Of this lady tag. We're going to stick her in there. But I would like her corners to be clipped. It just, to me, it looks like that's what needs to happen on this tag specifically. So I'm going to just clip those corners. I'm going to put a little ink on it. We're going to have to think about a square journal card. What do I have to decorate a square journal card with? I know I can make one out of a masterboard piece. I could make a square journal card out of just a piece of coffee dyed cardstock and then just do a little collaging on it. I do usually like to ink the backs of my things, even when they're coffee dyed. I just think it looks better to be inked. I try to ink it all front and back. Doesn't really take that much longer to ink the back side. But anyway, there's that. And she's going to live in there. I love it. It's very cute. Okay, moving on. We have this one. And this one flips up. I think it needs a little decoration down here also. And we have these little bits of paint chip, right? And you can cut these. They don't have to stay all together like this. So we could put a little cluster together and feature one of these in the cluster. I do have. This actually works color-wise. I don't know if you guys can see the color. No, you cannot. But color-wise, this one matches pretty good. And I think it would look nice there. Can he go there? He'll just kind of get a little, we could leave it open. We're going to stick something in it and leave it open anyway. So let's stick him on there. I like it. It looks nice. I didn't check and see if I glued this one fully. And I'm going to leave the papers loose. And we're going to just center that one as best as we can right there. So we're doing a little embellishing and we're definitely filling those pockets up. How are you guys doing out there? We're getting this guy done. Getting him done. Okay, so now in the pocket. What do we want inside of that pocket? Things with lace don't slide into pockets that are really deep like that very well. I have this botanical tag that could go in there. Kind of hidden in there. Or I could just simply stuff, you know, we've already decorated it, whatever. I could simply stuff one of these in there. I think that's okay. We can leave that for now. I might want just a coffee dyed tag in there. I'm going to pull that and I'm going to put just a coffee dyed tag inside of there. So now we have that. This one. We could do her in there. She doesn't really, you know, the lace doesn't really get shown off. And I have this super sweet one. And I know it's not, you know, it doesn't have a lot of color on it, but I think it's just super sweet. Embossed little tag. Super sweet. And we could layer something else up behind that as well. We're going to clip in some things. So now we have this big one. And this big one, she will go in. Hopefully. She will go in there. Her lace is folded up. You can't have your lace fold up. Better. There we go. She's good there. She does need a hole punch at the top though. She needs a hole punch at the top. Then we have another one of these. And I don't want to just do another cluster because we just did one of these kind of clusters. So we'll save those for just a minute. This one here. Let's see what we have. I have this, and you could put it on as just a decoration. It doesn't have to be a journal card. That would look nice there. I'm just going to put that there. Just going to glue. It was a journal card. Now it's a decoration. Could we glue it as a pocket so something could stick out the side? Yes. I will do that just in case the new owner wants to stick something out the side of it. But when doing that, I need to make sure I get a nice wide border of glue just because it's going on to a little envelope. So I've done quite a wide border, but a little tag or journal card or something can still fit in there. Make sure that we're below where our, oops, we need to go over a little bit or else it will not be centered. There we go. So now we have a pocket right here if we want to. I do stick little coffee dyed tags and journal cards in empty pockets if I need filler. So we could stick one in there. But we still have this. And I know if I ink this, I'll probably be happy with that there. So let's just ink it. No chatting, guys. What's happening out there? Where's the chat? Are you guys all making stuff? You guys all quiet? Is it dinner time? Just checking on you guys, making sure you guys still have a pulse out there. Maybe you're making stuff. Or maybe you're stuff in the pockets of your journal. I don't know. So there's my painted tag. A little coffee dyed. Now on the back of these ones, I left them completely raw. And that means all you can see all the bits of skippity paint and gesso and all the things. And it was a manila tag, so I'm good with that. But I think it shows like the artist process, the messy little artist studio, whatever. So I really like leaving that when you can. And there's that one. Yay! And it's like botanical and butterflies. Love it. It looks great there. I mean, I think it looks great there, but whatever. Now this is kind of plain. I don't know. You could do something with it. You don't have to. Let's see. We've got a pocket here. And in this one, we've got a lot of things left. Let's stick our embossed, not embossed, our laminated lavender. Let's stick that in there. And you know, we have a paint chip. We could stick a paint chip tag in there too. I do want to make it into a tag, but yeah, we could stick that in there. I have some extra ephemera, so we'll go back through and fill some more pockets. This guy would actually look great in here too. Let's see what else we have. We have this, and this needs just a little sizing. So when I folded these bands, this one was folded extra large. We're going to refold it. I'm going to re-ink it. And then we're going to glue this little band on there. Here we go. And this is just extra journaling space. A whole coffee dyed sheet of paper is folded into a French letter fold. I did a video on those. And then when we put this on, we can decorate the flap. I have that rose on the outside. And it will slide off. So we're just going to glue a little bit here. And it will slide off. And then if you want to, you know, if the fold line bothers you, whatever, you could cover that up. But I think it looks pretty intentional at this point. So there's that one. And that little guy is going to tuck right in there. Perfect. Love it. Okay, now we have this, and this is the other half of the brown paper bag. And at this point, we need to decide what kind of pocket it's going to be. If we cut it on the side right here, something will slide in. If we cut it on the top, something will go down in there. I'm going to cut it at an angle and a pretty sharp one because I really want to see what is behind it. And there's my pocket. Now I could take this and I could put this on a corner and I could, you know, do a thumb notch, not do a thumb notch, whatever. And that would also be a pocket. I'll put it in the scrap pile and we'll put it in Thursday's journal as a pocket. So now I have this really large pocket here, super large. And I've got this shaker card. It's a dried lavender flower shaker card. And I'm hoping that I cut that big enough for that guy to fit in there. And he does. He looks great. He could use a little something here. I mean, I could take my playing card and decorate with it or something. But for now, I don't really have anything, you know, sitting right this second. We'll have to leave it. This needs inked around. This needs decorated. So we have a tiny little bit more to do. All right, so I've got this pocket now. This pocket, this would look really nice coffee dyed in there, but it's not coffee dyed. So I'm not going to stick it in there. I could put the paint chip. That would also look beautiful coffee dyed, or even just inked. I think inked it would look nice. It's not quite the right blue. Everything I find is not quite the right blue. That's the right color. Looks nice. I love the buttons of that one. We've got some bumpy and some soft next to each other. I think that's great. You can still write on that. I think that's great. So we're going to leave those there. Another pocket here. And this is a, you know, better blue for some of these things. It's a better blue. Could do those both in that one. That looks nice. And then we've got this pocket here, but it comes with its own journal card. So it already has something in the pocket. And then you have something here if you want to stick something back there. Well, we need to go back through and we need to do a little more decorating, finishing, but I have some leftover bits here. I've got leftover bits to the side. So I have some extra fun things to play with. This is our journal so far. She's getting nice and chunky. I'm going to add more lace in here. I only have lace in the middle and I have to put lace at the end and the midsection each way. So we're going to add more lace, but she's getting chunky. Love her little ribbons coming out the top. That always makes me happy. All right, so let's keep working. Let's finish at least one, right? We have 3, but let's finish at least one. So going back through, I want to add a lady to this right here. Do I have a French fashion lady that I can add quick? And while I get up and find other things to decorate, we'll finish the rest of those pockets that need a little something too. I also have antique ephemera, so we could stick antique ephemera in there. Let's see what I've got. For fashion ladies, fashion ladies. Here are some fashion ladies. We're going to find one and we're going to cut it out and glue it down. It needs to be the right shape. So we're going to put some antique ephemera. Needs to be the right shape for this tag. So, you know, she's got to fit in there. The sitting one, that might have been actually okay right there to put her on there. And you can see this magazine is torn. I'm going to just cut her out for a minute and see how it goes to put her on there. I can't lose that one's hands and I can't lose her magazine. So we've got to just cut what we can cut. Let's just look and see how that'll work out. I did have a couple ladies cut out the other day. I don't know if I glued them to something or what exactly I did, but let's see how she'll look on there. Oh. Well, something has gone wrong on my side. Um, let me, there we go. Now I'm caught up with you guys on chat. My chat was frozen and I was just thinking you guys were all being quiet, but my chat froze and I had to completely refresh it. I'm so sorry for ignoring you and thinking that you guys were being quiet because you're not being quiet. Her face will get covered unless I move her down. Do we care if her face is covered? I think we kind of do. We'll save her and put her on a journal card. But anyway, I thought you guys were all being quiet and it was just the fact that my chat was frozen. Because I'm like, wait, they can't really be quiet this long because there was no chat coming in on my side whatsoever. And I was just thinking that, you know, you guys, something was wrong. I don't know. You guys will be quiet. Maybe one of these ladies and their little babies or something can fit on there. They're kind of a good size. So anyway, I was thinking it's been a really long time since I saw a new comment come through. And lo and behold, chat was frozen. So I don't know what y'all been talking about, but hopefully you were having a good time and yelling at me and telling me, we're chatting, we're chatting. All right. What can we put on here that will fit? I almost could get like that whole scene of the mother, the baby, and the two children. Now the mom's face will be covered up, but do we care? Because we can see the little children. Or I could get this mom holding the baby. I mean, she's not really the mother, you guys know that, but she is the nanny. The nanny, we'll call her that because she, you know, she might be the nanny. So we're gonna cut around her little head there. Cool. Well, we have a lot of other things that we can use in that magazine. And if we put her down there, we can still see her and the baby. Or a little baby sleeping. He looks about the same size as my grandbaby. I haven't been able to see my grandbaby because he's been sick and I couldn't, um, come back from moving and then immediately disappear because I got the stomach flu with them all. So I had to stay away and I wasn't able to go to my normal visit with them on Friday. And I do miss him and my daughter and, my son-in-law. I don't really see my son-in-law too much when I go over there because he's usually working. But I miss him so much, my little grandbaby. And if I don't see him regularly, then I worry he's going to forget about me. He's just now to where he'll have conversations with me on the phone. He knows my voice. He gets happy and excited, and he totally will babble with me on the phone. But I felt like for a long time because they live an hour and a half away, which isn't long, but it's not like I can see them a couple times a week or something. I can't even see them every week, but I can see them once every 2 weeks. And so I was worried, when he was smaller, once every 2 weeks, he would legitimately forget about me. And, I was just like, don't forget about me. I'll be back in a couple weeks. Let's see. I think I'm going to end this a little bit differently. I'm going to do a little alteration here and just kind of curve that around. He's so cute though. I'm sure your grandchildren are also equally cute, but it's just fun. That's lovely. Okay, so maybe something for them to sit on so that they're not just, floating around out there. But I do have a little tiny bit of dictionary book page something. It's German dictionary. Little German dictionary. I really like her as far over here as I can get her. So let's maybe put this over here a little bit. I don't know where I want it. Maybe I don't want it on here at all. What else do we have in this pile? I'm only allowed to use scraps. I can't use any new pieces of paper. I'm sure you guys can sympathize when you get like, I have too many scraps. I have to start using my scraps. All right, let's tear this down a little more and let's put this on there. Okay, so we're going to collage that and that. Love it. They're still kind of floating. Do I have anything robin's egg blue in this pile? I see something here. This little watermarked piece of paper. I like seeing the postal cancel there. So I think we're just going to do that. Just going to do very simple. Not going to ink anything. Just going to glue stick it down. And we're going to go. FaceTime, I know. I've been meaning to FaceTime, but we talked about it. He wants to eat the phone, so my daughter does not actually let him touch the phone because he's in the eating everything stage. Okay, so there's that. He's so cute though. So very cute. There's that one. Just a little something. It was a beautiful tag, and the showcase, the laces and little trims and button and stuff, those were the showcase things. See, now I want this a little smaller. And it's all gluey. All gluey. Yeah, that's good. Kind of acts as a little label right there. But anyway, it was fine the way the tag was, but I would prefer, now that I have glue everywhere, I would prefer that on there, just a little decoration. Okay, so that took like an hour, but I'm happier with the tag. I need to wipe my hands off because it's a white quilt journal. White quilt journals, they need to stay clean. So that's really the only downside of making this journal is that you constantly have to wash your hands. Kate, are there certain quilts that you want to look for? Are there certain quilts that you want to look for quilting? Not really. I have several bins of quilts here. I mean, for me personally, I always like the two color quilts, like the white and red, or white and blue, or green and white. And my most favorite quilt of all time, I had to sell at one point of my life. And it was a red and green and white quilt. And it was very old, 1800s, beautiful. You could hold the quilt up and see the cotton seeds and the cotton batting. It was such a beautiful quilt. It was my favorite for many, many years. And then I did have to part with it at one point. And that's the one that haunts me, is I wish I had that one back. It just looked beautiful draped over, whatever. The cabinet door, I used to have a pie safe, and the door was left open on the pie safe, and then that red and green quilt would drape over the side of it. and it was beautiful. But yes, that one. Oh, for covers. Really, honestly, I try to find a cotton fabric quilt and something that's actually stitched. It can be machine stitched, but nowadays they make some cheap quilts on Amazon and other places that they're made in China, and they look quilted, but they're actually like melted or something together to fake stitching. I do try to find ones that actually have thread sewn stitches, and something that is a cotton fabric. It just, I think it's a little nicer or antique feeling or something like that, you know, just a little more authentic. So we've got that. I'm fine with that. That looks fine. It looks good. I'd like to maybe bend that so it wasn't poking out, but other than that, we're good there. Okay, so we're just going to finish this one. Everything is good here. We didn't put anything in there. And this is the point where I need the bag of ephemera, of like little tags, little journal cards, things that are copy dyed. Where are they? Need little things that are copy dyed and ready to go. I have some other clips and clusters in here too. I do have a journal card that is about the right size. It doesn't have any decoration on it, but it is about the right size. Oh, here's the ladies that I cut out the other day. Well, good to know that they haven't escaped this room. Okay, for 1 second, let's look in this bin. This bin has a lot of things in it, but we're going to look quick and we're going to see if we can find a square journal card base for our, here's some more ruffle. I think we will use the ruffles in these journals, but a square journal card base for the CD envelope. And these can go in here too in this journal. So yes, we have some extra pieces. We'll put one of these in each one of those other piles and we'll decorate those journal cards. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's different ruffles in here. We'll decorate with those ruffles. They've been in here a long time and they need to get used. This is actually a really beautiful scrap pad. That needs to go in one of these piles and go in a journal. Just looking, here's a nice little plain journal card that was just, you know, the edge was punched on it. All of these can go in here. Not all in the same journal, but in a journal. They can go in a journal. There's some pocket templates, some pocket examples. Aha, a square journal card. There's 2 of them. A square journal card. These need decorated. They're already covered in collage. That one probably would work for something. So this is like a ready to decorate and a finished bin. There's all kinds of stuff. There's stuff that's finished and there's stuff that's not finished. Here's some extra tags. I think we could make those tags too. There wasn't very many super large tags in this, in our finished ephemera. So let's make those. I saw another finished tag, but we're going to leave that. I've got these things. We'll pull those in case we need them. There's these. Those could be easily decorated. So I have lots more if I need it. All right, cool. Well, I found a square journal card, and that was really the point of it. Honestly, Barbara, if you find a quilt and you like the way it looks, nothing else really matters. Any quilt can be made into a quilt journal cover. If you're shopping at like Goodwill or things like that, sometimes in the pillow sham section, you'll find quilted pillow shams. And I like quilted pillow shams because you can get like 2 journal covers out of one pillow sham. Sometimes you can get 4. It just depends on how it's made. But a quilted pillow sham is plenty for 1 journal. So if you guys are going thrifting, Goodwill, whatever your favorite thrift store is, quilted pillow shams. You don't have to buy a whole quilt. Most of the time, people don't really even sleep on their pillow shams, so they're probably in like new condition anyway. All right, so I found more things. I mean, I didn't really need a whole bunch, but I found some. The point of me looking was for this little paper bag right here. This little paper bag either needs this journal card put in there, or I don't know if this guy will fit. Oh, he will fit. He's going to go right there. See the way, like this is just like an Anna Griffin edge punch, you know, the old scrapbooking ones. But look at how cute when we punch them on just coffee dyed stuff. You don't even really have to decorate it. It's just perfect. Look at how good it looks sticking out of that bag. That's great. I love it. I love it. All right. She's good. Here's where we need to make a square journal card. And here is a square journal card. And it is going to fit in there. It needs just a slight little haircut, and it's going to fit in there and fit in that window. So what do we want? What? I need to put over here. What do we want to put on here? My first instinct is to put a lady because I think ladies look nice on everything, and I try to cram as many of them into a journal as I can. And I'm sitting here and I'm staring at this magazine, so I mean, I could put like the little girls. I could cut out just the little girls and put maybe the little girls on there. I'm going to do it. It's a French children's grammar page from a school book. And I backed it on copy dyed cardstock. And because it's grammar, I'm going to put children. It's a school book page that one of them would have used. Ooh, I'm going to cut into this lady right here, but whatever. It doesn't matter. It will be fine. Can I preserve this one laying down right here? Maybe. Maybe. I am going to lose this baby right here and that woman, but whatever. Oh well. Normally I cut these out just a little bit better ahead of time, but we're here and we're trying to speed things along. So we're just going to keep cutting. Cutting around the flowers that she's holding in her hand. Probably a little challenging, but we're going to do it. And then we just take a couple nicks out of there and we're all good. So we've got these little girls kind of looking at each other and talking to each other, carrying on their little conversation. And we're going to put them on the grammar journal card. Now, what else should we put? We got to layer something else on here. We can't just slap some girls on there. The handwriting is done in purple ink. It's kind of nice. It's the only purple ink thing we have in here. And I think because it's grammar, maybe we layer some dictionary page. We'll see how it looks. Little feet. Let's see how that looks just like that. It's very cute. Very cute. Okay. What else do we need to layer? I mean, I don't have too terribly much at hand. I don't want to cover up the word grammar. So these girls have to stay down here where I don't cover up grammar. I mean, they could go over there, but then we lose the flowers. Yeah. So they're going to go here. I'm going to have to move them down, put them there. Okay, that's good. Now, if they go in the pocket, they will not be in the center. Okay, they'll just lose their feet. They're just going to lose their feet. All right, so guys, let's find some kind of pretty paper to stick underneath of them. That is really pretty. Let's do that. It's just a scrap. I'm going to cut this line right here just because I don't want a line. And then we're going to glue that down. We're just going to glue part of that down there. I've decided to tear it after I cut it. Okay. Perfect. Love it. I'm going to get the purple flower center showing, some handwriting. Beautiful. Let's collage. My chat keeps freezing. I don't know what's wrong with it. It's freezing. All right, let's put this together. So we talked about dinner. What are you guys going to do whenever you, what are you guys going to do? The thought is escaping me. What are you guys going to do whenever we come out with the new journal kit? Are you guys going gonna subscribe and get all the future journal kits? You guys gonna get one single journal kit? I think we're gonna come out with a journal kit that's gonna knock your socks off next time. And we are going to do something special, like we talked about, where people who had been subscribed for all of the journal kits in the past get a free journal kit. And we would love to get back into a normal rhythm of making the journals on schedule. Them taking only 1 month and 4 classes, right? Like 1 month, not dragging on forever. But yeah, so are you guys gonna like just get the one, or are you gonna get the subscription? I want to know. Most of you are on subscription. You'll stay on subscription, or you can just switch and get the single one next time. There'll be available single. I know for a couple of the kits we didn't do singles. We couldn't, we couldn't get it together to do singles. This glue stick is like super chunky. But for those of you on subscription, you're going to get it. But for those of you not on subscription, you're going to choose single, or you're going to choose to get them all. There we go. Perfect. The reason why I ask about the kits is because that's probably the number one thing you guys messaged me about while I was away during the move. You guys did ask, some of you, about like, when I'm coming back and if I was still alive and things like that. But probably the real number one question was, when will there be another kit? So I'm thinking most of you are subscribed. I'm pretty sure you are, most of you. But we'll definitely offer the single kits this next time, because I don't think the white quilt, I don't know, one of them was not available, and it might have been the white quilt one. It wasn't available as a single. We just didn't have enough material, I think, prepared at the beginning to do the singles. So that's those little girls. We'll go ahead and ink the back. Then I know that it still needs cut down just ever so slightly. So I'm going to cut the top. So I can ink everything but the top, which I already did. Okay. Let's figure out what size we need this to be. Stay on subscription. You're focused on building a stash of yummy goodness. Oh gosh, building that stash, I'm telling you. Once you have the stash, the possibilities are endless. We don't have to cut too much off. The possibilities are endless. It's easier to find, things that you are excited to make with, right? When we have things that excite us, when we have things that either are new or that we rediscovered in our craft room, or maybe they were something that you thrifted, or somebody passed down something to you found something amazing wherever you found it. Usually that one item, whatever, excites us and it makes us want to get in the craft room and it makes us want to create. And when I moved, I found all those things I forgot about, and that made me want to create. So it's kind of the same thing, whether you get new or you rediscover old in your craft room. But that stash, having a really good stash of things, whatever it is, even if you're collecting like cereal boxes and true junk journal things. If you have a nice stash, it makes it really easy to find what you're looking for. And it's easier to create when you're A, excited and motivated, and B, everything is there ready, waiting for you just to pull it out and make something, right? And if I need something to decorate something, I have a large stash to pull from. And if you don't have all the money to buy all the things, because none of us have all the money to buy all the things, trust me, a good way to start is just focusing on the things that you love the most. Don't we go down the road of, we watch somebody and they have all the every Tim Holtz color of ink pad there is. And so we feel like we have to have the full set, and you have like full set syndrome. And, we have to focus on things that we're actually going to use in the immediate future. So, sometimes I have to think about, okay, well, I would love to have a whole yard of fabric, but I don't really need a whole yard of fabric. I probably need a half yard at most, and maybe even just a quarter yard. I don't really need all of it. I don't really need tons and tons and tons, So sometimes we have to think about it in what are we going to use first? What makes the most sense, kind of a scenario like that. Kind of, yeah, started to tear it and it didn't quite tear the way I wanted, and now I'm kind of stuck. Whatever, you guys get the point. I can't have all the things either. I've tried. I can't have all the things. Maybe we're going over the top. Maybe we're going at the bottom. That's a nice base for that. Now up here at the top, coming down the side, you could do a little extra. I don't know. Could do a little extra somewhere on there. And then like a postage stamp to tie it together. Collaging. If you're talking about ephemera that we hand make, honestly, watching people on YouTube, and there's a lot of creators. Well, maybe not a lot. There's a lot. There's a lot of creators on YouTube, but some people, and I'm not saying a bad thing, whatever, but some people, they don't show how to make much ephemera. they'll make the ephemera off camera, but they don't really show how to make, you know, a lot of different kinds of ephemera. And it it's really hard to film those videos, and it's really hard like to think of different things that you haven't shown before. And I kind of got stuck too, because after 180 you kind of do hit a wall, and it's kind of hard to think of new things, right? But I will come back and I will do more. But what my point of it is you need to find somebody to watch that you like to watch. Um, oh, that looks nice right there. That does. Okay, fine, good. But anyway, you need to find somebody to watch, and that person that you're watching, make sure that they're showing you how to make ephemera. Make sure that that's part of their thing, because while we can watch, you know, assembling a journal or decorating a journal or whatever, if they're making the same pocket over and over and over again, once you learn how to make the pocket, it, you know, they'll show you how different ways of decorating it, which is also helpful. But you need, you know, we need to switch up our playlist. We can't always make the same pocket because it gets stale and we get less interested in doing it. It seems more like a chore. If you have to always make the same pockets and the same tags and the same whatever, then it's not really creative anymore. It's just repetition, right? It kind of feels that way in my brain, at least. I need to be making different things all the time. And I have favorites for sure. I have favorites that I do repeat all the time, but I am looking to, you know, I'm looking to find new things. I'm looking to find things that are exciting to me, that are different. And when I find those things, then I want to make. And so I assume, you know, it's probably the same for you guys. When you see the same thing over and over and over again, it's hard to feel excited about it. And when you have to make the same thing over and over again, it's hard to feel excited about making it. So I don't know. Find somebody that makes a lot of ephemera, and Gail makes a lot of ephemera. I haven't watched her in a little bit, but she does make a lot of ephemera, or at least she used to. So, and it's not that I don't watch her for any other reason other than I don't, honestly, guys, there is not a moment in the day to sit down and watch YouTube at this point, right? Um, Even short videos are great because it shows you quickly how to do something. But are we putting it this way? Or were we putting it this way? I think we're gonna put it this way. Anyway, so the point of it is it's upside down, but we're good. Find somebody that you like to watch that shows you how to make a bunch of different ephemera. And like Roxy, Rachel at Roxy Creations, she makes a lot of ephemera. Again, I haven't watched in a very long time, but she makes a lot of ephemera. And when you're watching people who are constantly making different things, try to make some, you know, the things that you want to make, try to make some every day when they make some, and then put it into a basket or a bin or whatever, and keep it. You could put it in an idea book and keep it as an example. I like making things that are finished and ready to go, or at least partially finished and ready to go. When I made stuff for an idea book, it's like doing all the work, but then you put it in an idea book and you can't use it in a journal. Things stay in my head pretty good, so I don't really need an idea book. For me, I think, you know, either I like making it or I don't like making it. So I'll make one. If I like making it, then it stays in my head and I don't need to keep an idea book example. I would rather have something that I can put in a journal. If I do all the work for it, I would much rather have something that goes inside of a journal that I can, you know, that I can use. And so, you know, when you're watching the people, just make sure that they're making ephemera that you like. They're making ephemera that excites you, and you know, that you genuinely wake up every day and you're like, oh, I hope they have a new video, and oh, we're gonna, they said we're gonna make a triple pocket today, and it's fun, right? And I will get back to doing those things, but at the moment, I don't foresee it happening this month. I have so many projects for us that are requiring more time. I will get back to 365s. I'm not just completely abandoning it, but it will just be a minute. I need to figure out some staffing and some other things here. But when I do come back, we'll make ephemera again. In the meantime, Rachel, Gail, there's a bunch of they're newer ones, newer junk journal makers that I don't know. But you could search on YouTube and search for like um, how to make junk journal ephemera or something like that. And there's people that will show, videos on how to do these things. This lady is sitting there, but we just put a bunch of ladies in here. So maybe for this one, I want a botanical, like a flower or something, and we'll stick that in there. So let me grab a botanical. Oh, I do have Anna Griffin. I have a whole closet shelf full of Anna Griffin. The problem with the Anna Griffin is she doesn't really allow us to sell the things that we make with her products. So we can't sell things. At least that was the policy. Now maybe there's been a change, but we were not allowed to sell things that we made with Anna Griffin. So I sadly, I do all the work to make it. I need the ability, if I want to sell a journal that I use some Anna Griffin paper in, I feel like it's kind of my right, and like I bought it. Whatever I make with it should be my up to me. If I want to make a journal to sell and I bought your paper and her stuff never goes on sale, really, maybe rarely it goes on sale, right? So if I buy Anna Griffin and I buy it at full price and I'm not copying it or doing anything that truly, would void copyright, I'm just doing, making a journal or something that, I should be allowed to make, right? She doesn't let you sell it. And she has very strict copyright enforcement. And she claims that the terms of service when you buy her products is that you make them to make them, but you can't sell cards and you can't sell journals. You can't sell whatever you make with them. And her stuff is very expensive. And if I spend the time making it, I want to do what I want to do with it. So I did a long time ago collect a lot of her stuff. Her stuff is beautiful. I love it. But with those kind of policies, and honestly, then it became a ooh yuck. It's a company thing that, like, it's if you're gonna have a policy like that, you can't you can't tell people who spent their money on something that they're not allowed to do what they want to do with it. I think that's a bad decision. I think that's a something's wrong there. Love you to pieces, Anna, but that policy is just it's bad. It's a bad policy for the people who are supporting you and who were nice enough to buy the products and stuff. So I don't know, guys. The Anna Griffin stuff I think is just taboo for me. It gives me a ew yuck feeling when I see a company be so I think it's terrible, honestly. The people bought your stuff. They bought it at a very hefty price. It very rarely goes on sale, which is okay, whatever. You chose to buy it. But then you're trying to tell them what they can do with something they then own. I don't really think that's legal, but she has the money and she has the team to enforce stuff like that. So it is what it is. But I think it's ooh yuck. So for me, Anna Griffin is out. It's just not a good company policy. So anyway, that's a tangent. I apologize. That's a tangent. I apologize. We need something with color here, but honestly, this little lace sample with the dress and the invoice, we're just going to tuck that in there. just like that. Um, imagine, I'm not saying this, but imagine if I told you all the things that you've ever purchased from my live sales. You can't make things that you sell. A, I don't have that right because you own it. You own it. B, that would be really bad of me. Like, I don't know. I don't know. So, yeah, no, not to that. Anyway, moving on. I think these are fine. It's writing space. That's good there, other than maybe, let's go ahead and put a hole reinforcer in that quick, or at least a hole and some ribbon. Where is the hole punch? I have a hole punch in here. There it is. Yeah. So, and she actually does enforce it. It's never happened to me, but I used to be a member of a Facebook group that had, like, the newest Anna Griffin, whatever. She's releasing this. It was like little updates of Anna Griffin stuff. And so you could, like, know when something was coming out. You could, go and order it or whatever before it sold out. And they were very like, you can't, like, somebody would post something and they would be like, oh, here's a journal I made, blah blah blah. I sell these cards at craft fairs. They were on them like 2 seconds. And they were yelling at them saying they can't sell it, and then people got cease and desist letters. Like, it was bad. So whatever. Yeah, so I have a closet full that I will make for the joy of making it, and then I will give it away or whatever. But that's just stuff that'll sit in there for a while. So I need a little bit of ribbon, and I'm looking at what I have sitting next to me. And we have some like blue gray. Um, I'm gonna put this gold ribbon in. I have some gold seam binding. So let's put some gold seam binding. Seam binding is coming back. I know you guys like the seam binding. Seam binding is coming back. It takes a long time to do because we do a ton of colors all at once. But so we're gonna do seam binding soon. You guys know if I have it, I will share. So we did a whole bunch of different colors this time for you all, and a bunch of different colors. And we need to get the whole color family done. And once they're done, then we will bring them in little bundles. I'm not sure if we're going to sell them in color families or what we're going to do, but theme binding will come. Now go in there. Perfect. You know what you can do when that happens is just use your little bone folder. Is it annoying? Yes, but it looks great there. It looks like she's got a little veil on her face. It's super cute. Anyway, I think we're good there. We have the back of that. And the back of that really should have something on it. I shouldn't leave it plain. If I did a little collage, I could blend that in right there. And I do have this guy. Do you guys remember when we did these a long time ago? Watercolor, you just take watercolor and you just paint a little, a little swatch. And then I took a fine line black marker, a little Copic liner, and just drew some messy little squares and wrote number 1, number 2, whatever. And you can do them for whatever colorway your journal is. I'm wondering if I put a hole right here, I almost could tie those there. I'm going to do it. Why not? Why would I not do it? I've never done it before, but why would I not do it? And we're going to do it on the fly, and it's going to be beautiful, hopefully. And if it's not beautiful, then I'll cry about it later. It's going to need a hole reinforcer because we are going to tie something through there. Can't wait for the journal kit. It'll be a little bit. But yes, well worth the wait. The fabulous one. Okay, so there's that one. And there's this one. Needs positioned. Much harder to do when it's already got glue on it. Okay. And then I think these are all gone. It's hard to tell sometimes whether they're still stuck on there or we've used them all. Okay. That goes back in there. And this guy pulls out my glue, the lace pocket. Let's see what you guys said about the Anna topic. You know, Karen J, I would agree, right? Like everyone who used her products and, you know, people saw, oh, the beautiful cards or the beautiful stamps or whatever, you know. I think pretty much no publicity is bad publicity, but she's not worried about publicity. She's worried about somebody profiting off of or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing to me. It's almost like she's really worried about somebody making a profit other than herself, which sounds terrible. Maybe there is some other legitimate reason or something. I just kind of tie it that way. No, it's got to go the other way. Anyway, I don't know what the deal is with it, but I just know that. I was sad to hear of it, and it was the end of my buying Anna Griffin products. Can I make that work? No, I cannot. Anyway, I'm going to tie this on here the way I had it. I'm not tying a knot. The idea is someone can remove it, whatever, but it's just going to dangle in there. I can't get it tied. The little fibers are not allowing me. The little fibers are not allowing me to do it. I want to put it on right, but I don't think they will go through there. They will not go through there. I can't do it, guys. Can't do it. There we go. That one will work. So it's just a really nice color. It's a really nice color combination. And it's just little fun bits. And this can hang up here with all of our other little ribbons. Okay. Little something there. Little something. Please stay and be good. Like you could take this and even paper clip it somewhere in here, just to kind of show like maybe the person who gets this journal is going to do a little art or drawing or something like that. So that could go in there. That one's pretty good. Even on like a little page edge like that. See, like that is the perfect place for that. I'm going to go grab paper clips because I want to paper clip it there. The person who buys this journal can then move it around and put it wherever they want to put it. But at least it's paper clipped right there. Okay. So So there's that one. I thought we were going to get multiples done. I need to hurry it up. Please don't squish that paper. Okay. I love that. It added a lot of color. This is super cute right there. That's good. Now we have this. We need something very simple right here. Very, very simple. Yeah, I do have Anna stuff, and it was in the craft room. It's now in a shelf in the closet. I will use it eventually for just me, you know, just making things that I want to make for the fun of making. I mean, I do love it and I paid a lot of money, so it will stay, but um I will, if I find a flower and I want to put a flower on something of hers, then I'm going to put a flower on something of hers. If I find, you know, the smaller elements, whatever, oh, please fit over there. Please fit. Anyway, the smaller elements, a small flower, I don't know what else I have. If I want to stamp something or die cut something and put it in a journal, guys, I'm gonna do it. If I get a cease and desist letter, I'm gonna get a cease and desist letter. If I use a tiny little element in a really large project that I handmade and they want to send me a cease and desist, then that's fine. But what I won't do is I will not make cards or I won't make and sell cards. I won't make a whole journal out of her papers or whatever. But if I end up using some small little element, then that's just, it is what it is. That needs cut right there. Just to help that go in and out. That's better. It's catching, but it's better. A little label is all I need to finish that with. Let's grab a little number label. I brought some new little Temples labels in here, and they went somewhere in some pack. Oh my gosh! I brought a whole little baggie right here, a whole little baggie of Temples things I found in my craft room. There's all kinds of things in there. But what I want are tiny little number labels. Tiny little numbers. Here's a nice journal card that we could stick in something. Right here. Right there. Okay. I'm glad you guys are hanging out with me. I don't really want math. Let's just find something. That's fine. Okay, so what else should we talk about? What else you guys want to talk about? You got topics? What you guys want to talk about? You love how your journal's coming together? Don't you love it when you're making a journal and, like, you know, maybe you're like, oh, I'm trying to make it, you know, pink Victorian, blah 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 blah, right? You have a theme in your head and you're trying to make it that way. Don't you love how I need another layer. The 3 rule. Anyway, don't you love when you finally get to that point and you see whatever your vision was come to life? I love that point. That makes me very happy when I see it come to fruition. Okay, I need one more little layer. Hopefully this works. My glue is pretty non-cooperative today. It's like chunky and dry. Sorry about that. Smacking the camera with the, there we go. And now I can put that somewhere right there, wherever it's stuck. Do you have everything in one room now, or stream and craft supplies? Do you have everything in one room now, i.e., stream and craft supplies? No, everything is not in one room, but um, we have got a temporary solution to where I have some access to some crafting things. That looks crooked. I have some access to some crafting things, and I can move back and forth and get what I need pretty easily at the present time. Now we're still unpacking. And so, while I don't have like a full on craft room, I do have enough. Did I really stick that on there and not stick anything under there? And I think it's like the second time I've done it. I usually add glue to these guys, and I nearly missed it. So now we're going to have to fake it and get it on there. Mm-hmm. These stickers, they don't really stay stuck for forever, so they need extra glue. And I need to quit squishing my lavender. Anyway, so we did a tiny little collage on there. I kept botanical with botanical. I'm not really sure exactly how it'll work out for crafting at the moment. Um, I'm still trying to get a craft room, even though there's not really space for a craft room. We'll see. I think I'm going to, but my craft room will also have to have uh, some additional workers and workspaces inside of it, which will be interesting, right? But whatever, we'll make it work. It's possible we'll make it work. I think a postage stamp in there would have been also lovely. I don't know where the book of Tim Holtz postage stamps is, but if I found that, I would tuck one under that piece of paper right there. Now this back side, I cannot keep decorating every single little tiny thing that I find, even though my heart wants to. It's not going to work out if I keep going that direction. If I keep decorating every single little thing, it will take me 18 hours to finish this one. And we need to move it along. So I don't want to cover up the dress form. It would be nice if I didn't put it in upside down. I don't know. It's just oh, there's a blue right there. Never mind. There's blue right there. We'll put it somewhere else. I mean, we could just tuck it right back there. it always, there's another place to put something always, right? So we're really, really close with this one. Really, really close. You can see it's getting really nice and chunky. um, Tell me more about your lavender. Um, I have dried French lavender. I don't. I hope maybe they plant me some lavender outside. I actually am very blessed, and I'm very grateful that I do have a pretty good supply of craft supplies now. I'm very poorly spoken lately. My brain is very scattered. But anyway, I am very, very grateful and, very happy that I do have a good selection. We need to add a little glue here on the front cover. A good selection of things. It makes making enjoyable. Having my supplies organized makes making enjoyable. It makes it easy, and it makes it fun. And instead of frustrated because I can't find X, Y, and Z, or I don't have a big, nice workspace to work in. So I think being organized makes making journals much more fun, much more enjoyable, easy. Things, come together pretty well. So, I'm really grateful that all of the things that have happened to lead me to the point of my life I'm at. Um, I am very grateful. And, none of it's done, none of it is accomplished without, I'm religious and Christian, so none of it is done without God, and none of it is done without all of you, because all of you have been here for a lot of the journey with me. Some of you have been here for, I don't know what it is, for 4-ish or 5 or 6 years, but um, and I'm very grateful for all the kind, lovely people that I've met along this journey. Um, it has been, it's been a journey, you know, nothing comes easy, right? You have to work for it. And there are days where they're harder than other days, right? There are some easy days and there are some hard days, but it's really, it's been a blessing, and it's been a blessing, and all of you have been a blessing. And I'm so happy that we all know each other and can make journals together. I'm going to tuck that out there. And that's pretty good where it's at. And if I just add a little glue, you might be able to tuck something. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, I think, you know, um, we all start out crafting, about talking about, not cutting corners and stuff. We all start out crafting. We all start out making stuff at us, maybe you don't want to just, some of us, we see somebody make something and we jump in with both feet and we are just like all in, right? Like, you know, we didn't even make one yet, but we're so into it and we want all of the supplies. And I need to stay with my glue on the page. But anyway, some of us jump in with both feet. Other people are more reserved, and they, instead of stocking an entire craft room for a new hobby they've never done, they they start out a little slower, and maybe give it a shot, give it a try, make a couple things before they fully commit. Everyone's different, right? I guess it depends, kind of like, you know yourself, of whether you're gonna really love this hobby or not. um, I usually tend to jump into things with both feet because, you know, I know I'm going to enjoy making things. I've always been making things my whole life. So I know I'm going to enjoy it, right? So I tend to jump in with both feet. But the point of it is even me who jumps in with both feet, when I first started making stuff, I did make it at my dining table. Of course, I had little kids running around all over the house, right? And so I would craft at the dining table while they played or did whatever they were doing. Like my son used to play with his Hot Wheels on the floor, and he was laying there and playing with them all and making the car sounds and everything. And I was sitting at the dining table with Stampin' Up stamps, stamping cards, because, it was fun and I enjoyed it. So I used to make Stampin' Up little cards, right? A lot of us used Stampin' Up things. But yeah, so at the dining table. And I remember, you'd go to the Stampin' Up parties that your friends or neighbors or coworkers or, whatever, all of the above would have. And there were times where, I really wanted that new stamp set. And, there wasn't money for everything. I had young kids. Young kids, like kids in general, they take a lot of money. It's a big undertaking. So we didn't have money for everything, right? Um, and so yeah, I had to pace myself and I had to get whatever, at certain points. I won't say that I give myself an allowance or anything like that, but there were definitely times where I wanted something and couldn't get it or whatever. But then my kids got older and, they did their own thing. And, um, I've just kept making stuff, and one thing led to another, from the dining table. Eventually I had like a little bit of space, and we used to have like what we call a den, right? A den, and there was a desk in there, like a computer desk, and the computer was on top. But in the drawers, I used to keep all my crafting supplies and in little decorative boxes and stuff like that. And so from the dining table, then it became like part of a computer desk. And then from part of a computer desk, it became maybe like a bookshelf. And then, it kept growing. The supplies were growing, and what I was making was growing and changing. And, you know, as money and, my life allowed, I bought different supplies. And I mean, I probably have maybe two or three of my original Stampin' Up stamps. I don't really make cards anymore, so I don't really have that kind of stuff. But anyway, as life changes, um, you you do what you can to get supplies, and you do what you can to get space in a house or apartment or whatever, little closet space, something, so that you can have a place to create and have a place to keep your supplies. And it grows and grows. And then, my kids are grown now. I have a spare bedroom, or at least at the old house, I had a spare bedroom that I could make into a craft room. And then I had a whole craft room. And that was a really, really nice blessing, because you could make oh, see, we're getting ink and whatever on it. It's getting a little vintage looking. But, your life changes, and so does your supplies. And so, it's like the natural evolution of things. When my kids got older and, required less of my time and wanted to hang out with their friends more and stuff, I just made more. I crafted more. I had more free time. I don't know. It just, making stuff makes me happy. Like right now, making this journal, seeing that it's almost finished makes me very happy. But the process of making it makes me very happy. Like I truly enjoy making journals. It just makes me happy. Even when it's like frustrating and I think it's coming out ugly, it still makes me happy to make something. I mean, think about it. If I wasn't here right now, what would I be doing? My mind might be just sitting on the couch watching some TV show that has absolutely nothing to do with anything, just brain rot watching TV. That's probably what I would be doing, because I would just be like, what do you do? I'm bored. There's nothing to do. So it's either crafting or watching TV, and of the two, uh, it's 110 degrees right now. Like it's legitimately 108 degrees at 7 p.m. You can't go outside. You can't do anything outside. You can't, oh, I'm going to go for a walk. Oh, I'm going to be active. No, you're not, because it's 110 degrees outside. So here in Arizona, it's not the same as the rest of the country, but it's hot, and you can't, it's not a state where you can do outdoorsy things 20 or 12 months out of the year. It is a state where you really do have to be careful outside. Being outside is sometimes dangerous, for your health and stuff. So, well, I don't know what else I'd be doing. If my kids were all like, doing their own thing and they were older, what else would you do? I don't know. You guys got to remember, it's just me. It's not like I have, a significant other, a husband to go and like do stuff with. It's just me. So I found a creative way of occupying my mind, and that I enjoy doing stuff. I enjoy making stuff. So for me, it works. For me, it works out that way. And I know a lot of you guys are also alone. I know several of you are alone like me, whether for my case it's divorce, but some of you guys are alone because you've been widowed, and you know, it it's really tough, but finding something that makes you happy um, is helpful. It helps you in many ways. So for me, crafting also helps me with pain. If I'm sitting here and I'm doing something and my mind is occupied, um, then I'm not thinking about pain, right? I have chronic pain. So for me, when I'm doing something and I'm enjoying it, I'm not thinking about how bad whatever X, Y, and Z hurts. I'm just having a good time. And when I'm with you guys, I'm having a good time and I'm not thinking about it. Hello and welcome, Carol. Welcome, all new people. And sorry for the super, super big babbling, but that's what I did. I babbled. I'm going to try to line these points up, but this guy is folded over. He's wanting to be difficult. Oh, I see he has an extra little string. So I know some of you guys can relate to some of the things I just said. And other people are like, oh my God, would you please shut up? So for those of you who want me to shut up, I am so sorry. For those of you who can relate to some of what I just said about, your kids getting older, and maybe you're alone, and, we got to find something to do, and maybe the weather isn't so great, or maybe your health isn't so great, and like going and doing all the things is not possible all the time. You gotta, you need to do some activities that are sitting down sometimes, because while it is good to be active, there are limits. You can't do all the things. If you have some kind of health condition or disability or something, it becomes kind of difficult to go, right? Oh my gosh. Lisa's done toll painting. I love toll painting. I love toll painting. I've never done it, but I think it's beautiful. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I've added some lace to some pages because there was some missing lace in the middle. This is my last piece of lace, and then we're going to put a closure on this one. I'll finish the front decoration, and honestly, this one is really, really close to being done. We can peek at the other one or other two if I do get this one done. I'm trying to find a page to add lace to. I like to put the lace as close to even as I can. Like we just put gold here. Here's the back of the book. So I want to put, I want to put some lace at the very back. Yep. I put some lace right here. Did I put it on that one? No, I went in one more and I put it where the music is. Where's the music? I can't find the music paper. I know the music isn't this far. It is that far in. Oh, that's where the gold is. Never mind. This guy way up here is put by the dictionary page. There. We can put it on that one. That's okay. But this is really where it is on the other side. And I'm going to put it here. So anyway. Seems a strange thing to do. Uh-oh. I'm glad some of you guys relate to it. I'm glad some of you relate to it. Anyway, I'm going to add some lace. What else do you guys think this journal needs? We'll ask for audience participation. What else do you guys think this journal should have? What is it missing? What does it need? I don't want to add too much glue here, but I do want my lace to stick. I brought a book weight in here and then I promptly put it somewhere. I don't know what happens to my brain, but I literally brought a book weight in here to make it easier to put my lace on. You started your crafting journey with tool painting? That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Looks like Rhonda's calling it a night. I know the name, but I am not familiar with. I think she's been here before. I think Rhonda has been here before. She may still be here and she can tell me, but I think this needs to go in more anyway. So let's get it in more. Here we go. All right. We're getting close. This is just annoying me. Stay on there. Nope. Sometimes it just doesn't work with less glue. Sometimes you need a lot of glue. Okay. Now we'll get on there and stay straight. I feel like when it's slightly curved, it just wants to fight with me. There we go. Okay. So let's see. What do you guys think it needs? What do you think it needs? I missed you guys too. Obviously, I'm chit-chatting way too much, but I missed you guys. Got to get rid of this glue before it truly sticks. Okay. Got to pull out the excess glue. My little lace tips are a little bent up, but it's okay. We're going to put a cover on or a closure on here, and you're not going to be able to tell that those are bent. We'll try to straighten it just ever so slightly. I like to flip the page over and just see, like, you know, where it's lining up, making sure that I'm not completely wonky on my lace. Now I will let this dry just a little bit more before I officially push it down there and seal it, but we need to put a closure. I know it's missing a closure. Sometimes I have to hold it and look at it, I guess. I don't know. I'm struggling with that one. I think we're just going to leave it and it's going to be what it is. But look at how fluffy and yummy. Like, it's fluffy and yummy. This is gold and it's kind of hard to see, but it is in there. So we have 4 pieces of lace. We have this one, then we've got gold, and then we've got the white one in the center. So there's 4 different laces there. I think it's beautiful. Very beautiful. It feels great in the hand and it's getting super fluffy. We can pull all of our little tag tail things out of here. They're beautiful. It's going to look great. We need to put some paper clips in. I do ask that you guys don't reveal your locations just for your own security. I mean, I totally understand why you're asking where people are located, but you have to remember this is on the internet and some people's user IDs are their name. And we just, I like to keep it a little more anonymous, private, just because of identity theft and all of that. Okay, so what else does it need, guys? What else does it need? Thank you, Lisa. What else does it need? I do not see anybody saying anything. If you sent me something, I have some happy mail that is waiting to be opened, and I have some happy mail that I have opened, and I need to acknowledge the people who sent it. The happy mail will be addressed in the very first live sale video. So next Tuesday, I'll show you guys happy mail that I received. We'll talk about happy mail, and I will have for sure opened it. But it is a possibility that it is getting forwarded or in my mailbox or something like that, if you're asking me, because there is some happy mail out there. You're fine, Carol. Not a problem at all. A lot of people ask the same exact question, and it makes perfect sense until somebody gets their identity stolen or whatever. It's just the internet. It we feel, because we're a cozy, friendly little group, and we feel like we're just chit chatting with our friends here. And I'm very open, and I tell you guys way too much usually, but which it's because I feel comfortable chatting with you all. But also, this video is out there for the whole entire world. And so, at one point I'll be mortified of things I said, but apparently not now. Let's put some of these on, these little guys. I really did think that one looked cute right there. I have the little book page one. These are little paper ruffles. Little paper ruffles. You make them by folding paper and sewing it on a sewing machine. These ones that I have right now are a little bit special. They have vellum on the back side, so it's a paper ruffle that's got vellum to back it, makes it a little bit more sturdy. And you can just make them like this and keep them, and then cut or tear them, and then sew them or glue them wherever you want to put them. I don't know if I want the music paper or if I want like this one's really long and I'm just going to cut it, and then I've got two. And so you just tuck it in there, like ink it. Yes, and I have recently had to, well, you guys know I moved and I took some precautions. So, it's all out there and it's all fun and friendly until it's not. So, okay. Apparently I didn't sew this one. I really wish that I would have sewn it, because sewing it makes it very cute. So I don't know if I will use it because it's not sewn yet, and I don't want to run in the other room because you guys aren't going to wait for me to sew, but that would look really cute right there. So I'm going to sew that, and then I'm going to put that there. Oh, sorry, you guys can't see. I'm going to sew that little ribbon because you can see when it's sewn, it's a little bit different look with the stitching. So I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to stick it there. Just glue it. What else should I do in here? Oh my gosh. Looks amazing. Thank you. Small. Oh, yes. Definitely some antique ephemera. It already has German tape. Oh my gosh. Okay. We could stamp something. I don't have any stamps out, but yes. There are 0 belly bands in this journal, and I figured someone was going to ask because I always make a journal with belly bands. But because I wasn't using digitals and stuff, like normally I would use digital paper to either collage or whatever, a belly band. I don't know. I just did not put a belly band in here. And you can see there's not, I mean, there is places to put one for sure, but we're not lacking of ephemera. So we can go ahead and stick antique ephemera in it, but I want to do a closure. So I think I'm going to do an eyelet closure. I like eyelet closures. I think they're secure. And in a quilt journal, I think they work. The problem is do I have the kind of eyelets I want? For a quilt journal, I like the wide eyelet. So you know how eyelets normally are very small and very narrow? There are some wide eyelets, which I don't, it does not look like I have wide eyelets in here. There are right here. These are the kind that I want when I do a quilt journal. These are eyelets and they're very wide. I have glue all over my hands. But those are the kind that I need for a quilt journal. Can I do it with the other ones? Yes. I have in many cases done it with the other ones in the past. But because it's fabric and it's a quilt and it can move and it can flex and whatever else, my preference would be the wide ones. The other ones will work. You're just going to want to make sure you get them really securely on there. So normally I do the closure before I stuff it full of ephemera because it's much easier at that point to line things up and make it work and make it nice and all the good things, right? So we're going to struggle and we're just going to do it. We're just going to do it. We're going to eye it and we're going to hope for the best and we're going to do it. And then we're going to put some seam binding in there. And let's see, we're going to punch a hole with this guy. And so sometimes, you know, it's different than cardstock. I don't know if that's even anymore. It kind of looks even. Whatever, it will be close enough. I would recommend you guys measure and poke your hole where your hole needs to go. I'm struggling because I got a fat journal. I got a fat, full journal. And I do have a ruler, but it doesn't really matter. It'll work. Get in there. Line it up as best as you can. Decide how deep you want it. Normally I would do this from the other side. I don't know if I can do it like this, guys. I gotta flip it all over. There we go. That's better for me. And that lace is like totally in my way. And I'm running into something else in there. Put your closure on before you stuff your journal full. You'll be happier. Whatever. It's poked. Hopefully it's in the right place. All right. Now this big eyelet, I don't have a settings template for it. So hopefully it works on this one. Here's my little quilt piece. Perfect. I like to clamp it and then clamp it again just to make sure, again, it's on a quilt, whatever. Just making sure it's good. There's that one. Yay, it worked. We have a little closure. Now the trouble is getting the other one. I don't want to lose my music, even though I'm going to sew it. So normally I would tell you guys to pull your cover back and match it up and match it up, right? Put your corners together, all that kind of stuff. Just like I eyeballed the front, we'll be eyeballing this one. Everything is falling out of my journal. This one is harder to see, harder to level, harder to get in there. There we go. Make sure you're not punching a hole in your pages. I have seen several journal makers when they try to put the closure on like I am at the end, they actually punch the hole in their pages because they grab their pages as they go to punch it. There we go. We got it. Almost. It's fighting me. There we go. It's catching on all of that. One more time. There we go. Yay! We have a closure. There's my other little quilt piece. I think it's amazing that these things can chomp through an entire quilt. Like, that's a pretty good puncher. If it goes through an entire fat quilt, that's pretty good. We are memory keepers. I think they make great products, or at least they used to. You know how things are. At least they used to. There we go. All right. We did it. We need to choose a color of seam binding. Maybe put some charms on there, maybe not. I'm going to sew that little guy. I will clip in some antique ephemera. I will add finishing touches that I never show you guys on camera. Not because I'm trying to keep them from you, but just because I want to fuss with it a little bit and I don't want to sit here and bore people or have people be mad about it or whatever. So I want to fuss with a couple of things. Okay. I reserve the right to fuss with some stuff, but I think it's beautiful. I do apologize again. The studio is not really, the lighting and sound is not great. And it's just, I've just moved in a couple of weeks ago. So we're in the process of getting it back to normal. But with the lighting and everything, I still think it looks beautiful. I mean, it's chunky, it's got all the stuff. We'll add more. I'll do a closure. I'll sew on that. I'll show you what else we're going to do. But there are 3 of these. They are all available. You can text me to claim one if you want. This one is made with antique ephemera. So, it's a little different than a standard one. It's a little more luxurious. I don't think, like, I'll tell you if I see something where I feel like we need to add something or I need to change something. But I'm pretty sure, we have a lot of journal space in here. I might add something in that, just, some pretty color. I might have a dark blue right here. And the only reason why I would fuss with it right now is because there's a blue right here, and I think it would be beautiful to have just a little bit of color on that page. Just a little bit of color would be great. So I'm just going to put it in there quick, but just a little couple finishing touches. I'll do just a tiny bit of collage that I never show anybody just because I just like to do it as it comes to me, whatever, while I'm sitting here. But I don't know if you guys can tell the little bit of blue, but it looks much better now. Some labels, a couple little things like this needs the top cut a little bit, a hole in there, probably some ribbon also. I don't know if I could do it quick, but some finishing touches. If my eye says it needs to be done, I don't know how else to explain it to you guys. But if I look at something and my brain says, you're not quite done with it yet, then I have to fix it. I think it's because like it's like perfection. Like not that I make things that are perfect, but it's like being a perfectionist, you have to finish the stuff, right? You can't just when your brain says, well, if it was mine, I would want X, Y, or Z done, right? I don't know. I'm not trying to be a perfectionist necessarily. I'm just, my brain says it needs something done, and so I do it. And I don't like to sell things or let things go until, you know, I'm happy with them, until I'm confident that it's done and it's good. I do love this little bit. I don't know how much you guys can see of it, but I do love this little bit. I think that came out really nice. It's almost like a little sewing. It's got some invoices. I do love that one. That one came out very nice. And keeping with that theme, here's where you buy all of your cloth and all your sewing things and some, you know, a little bit of embroidered clothing. There's some nice themes in this journal, and those themes came together just on their own. You know, they happened all by themselves, just naturally. Should I stick something in that? You could. This little guy, honestly, he needs a pocket. I tried to make him stay there, but he needs a little pocket. If I just had one little bit of like a cutoff, and I know we did have some cutoff cardstock, but I don't know where it went. Or whatever. I'll find some cutoff cardstock. Like even that, and then this could just stick in there as like a little pocket. It's a little too big, but anyway, that needs a little pocket, and then he won't be tied in there. He'll be in a pocket. Other than that, we'll tuck in some ephemera, some actual real French ephemera. I saved, where are my postcards? I picked out some postcards that have the colors of these journals. Like, you know, has the colors. Can you guys see? I chose some and kept them off to the side because they look beautiful together. Like I wouldn't want to cover up either one of those, but yes. And the lady with the robin's egg blue telegram, little boy with the robin's egg blue clothes. This one's just pecan roses, but she's beautiful. She's beautiful. I mean, this is an original like photograph of a lady, and I think it's fabulous. She needs to go in there. But again, I don't want to cover up anything in that pocket. I refuse to cover that. I do want to make this into a tag. I don't know if I will leave that plain or I will decorate it. But we're very, very close. I mean, it would be fine to sell it finished right now. Like it is finished, but I like to zhuzh a little bit. Right here is begging for me to pin in some old ephemera. Like even if we just clipped her right there. Like the blue in her dress. I love it. It's perfect. I need another clip. But yes, we will clip in some things. All right, guys. Well, what do you think? Is yours done? Because mine are basically done. Yes, I have two more to go, but it's just filling them. It's just filling them, fluffing them, a little bit of lace work, whatever. But by the weekend, those two will be done. This one will be done. And on Thursday, so this is white quilt. You can make this entire journal basically from the original kit. This is the original kit. You get an original postcard in your kit. You get the laces, you get the quilt, you can see the paper doily, the paper bag, the coffee dyed paper. There's music paper, there's robin's egg blue antique documents, there's antique ledger, there's antique things in here. You get all the things, right, to make that. And so that's a physical kit. Physical kits are available starting soon, coming soon. Physical kits are available. They're released usually every month. I mean, if I was on schedule, they're every month. Now that I've moved, we should get back to the every month schedule. We might do every other month. I haven't decided yet, but yes. So this comes from a kit. You too can make it. We make it together right here in a class. We have 4 classes. The journal is usually done at this point in 4 classes. We did take longer this time because my life was a mess. But on Thursday, we're going to work on this guy. This is Thursday. Thursday is the file folder journal. And I will tell you, we made this entire file folder journal in 3 hours. I have not worked on it since then. This is where it was left. We made this entire journal in 3 hours. This Thursday, we will be decorating and making ephemera for it. It already has a bunch of pockets and tags and bases of ephemera inside of it. But on Thursday, we will be finishing this one. There is only one of these. I didn't make 3 because we made it in 3 hours. So there is only one of these. This one will also be available when it is completed. So anyway, you can text me to claim. We will continue working on Thursday on the file folder. The white ones are done. We will not be showing videos of white ones other than the final flip through. So guys, that is pretty much our live today. I'm trying to find my mouse. I don't know where it is, but I have too much stuff on my desk, basically. All right, I'm switching the camera back. Let's see if I can turn it quickly without bumping the rest of you. Yeah, I do miss my old live room just for the fact of the cameras. The cameras worked out a little bit better. Okay, so Tuesday, today was the White Quilt Journal finale. It's done. We're all finished with them. I'll work on the rest of mine. But I swear to you, on Monday, I will have 3 of them complete and ready to ship because I'm not putting unfinished journals. I refuse to put any more unfinished journals in my room. If I need to finish them, they just need to be finished. I can't just tuck them away and think I will finish them later, is my point. They need to be finished and go out the door so that I stop adding to my unfinished journal library. So anyway, the 3 will be done on Thursday. I'll finish that file folder. And then I have some past unfinished journals, but at least I'm not compiling and adding more to it, right? Okay, so let's see. On Thursday, we'll do that. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the file folder journal finish. Then next Tuesday, I'll be here for live sale. And then next Thursday, I'll be here for live sale. And we'll resume our normal Tuesday and Thursday schedule for live sales. There will be some changes. You'll see a couple different things that we're doing. We'll talk about it on Tuesday. All good things. We're trying to make improvements for you, make things smoother. recently somebody did a review video and expressed how buying live is not fun. And so I do want to try to be aware and make it as easy as possible, less frustration, all those kinds of things. I'm always working to try to make Carol. I'm always trying to make things easier and more fun for you guys. And so I'll continue doing that. Thank you, Maria. Uh, yes, it's hair color, but thank you. Carol says she did not make her journal, or that you guys did not make your journal in 3 hours. And I realized that even though I don't pre-plan my journal, I don't pre-plan my classes. I pull supplies and I have a general loose idea in my head of what I want to make, but I do not pre-plan them. I do not cut all my paper. I do not print all my things. I don't have it ready like that. And I try to do that, A, because that's the way my brain works, but B, because it's easier for you guys to keep up with me if I also have to go through all the same steps you guys have to go through. So, in other words, like I don't know exactly what I want for a signature, but I pull some loose pages. Then we assemble the signature together. We choose the pages together, like live on camera. I go through the, maybe not that, yes, this, whatever. But we started from a blank file folder and I finished with a journal that was done in 3 hours. I think it's entirely possible. Many people work faster than me and could have had it done in an hour and a half. But um, the point of it is I try not to pre-plan and have every little piece of paper and pocket cut and whatever, because then I would go so fast that I think you guys would get frustrated because it's like you can't pause me when I'm live. You can't pause me and then go look in your room for whatever book I just pulled out to fussy cut a flower out or whatever, right? So I try to keep it to where you can follow along. However, if I ever am going too fast or you need a minute or hey, could you repeat whatever you just said or whatever step it was or whatever, I'm always happy to do that. You guys can put in all caps, slow down, or please wait 5 minutes before you move on, or could you repeat that, or whatever. But you guys can put in all caps during the lives and tell me if I'm going too fast. Part of it will always be kind of awkward because while I know what I am making, and I gave you guys a loose supply list of you're going to need a folder, have all the papers for your signature pulled, have the ready to make ephemera pulled. I did give you guys some heads up for supplies. I try, if I know what I'm using, to tell you ahead of time. But it will always be kind of weird because my brain is taking me in one direction, one path, and you guys are trying to follow, and maybe your brains are trying to take you down a different path. Maybe while I made my journal look like that and I decided to collage my cover, maybe you guys wanted to wrap your file folder in fabric. Maybe you wanted to sew around your file folder and I didn't, right? Like there's always going to be differences. But the good thing is you can always play my video later. You can play it, you can watch and chat with your friends while we're live because I know you guys like to chat with your friends. You guys can watch and chat with your friends and see what I do. Then pull all the supplies. It can be a week or two, a month, 6 months, a year. And then you can come back to that video when you're ready and then play it and fast forward through all my banter. It's not even banter because there's nobody else to banter with. Like I can see chat, but it's just me babbling, right? So you guys can fast forward through all of my babbling and just hit the parts of the video you care to watch. So every live on this channel becomes a regular video that you can pause, fast forward, rewind, whatever after the fact. So this video will also go there. Binge my videos. Oh my gosh, there is a lot of videos up there. If you look under the 365 junk journal ideas videos, there's 180 plus videos in that series alone. And if you look back under the live section, everything that was alive to begin with lives in the live section on my channel. So even when this becomes a regular video, you go to the live section and you scroll down and find the craft classes, the journal making classes. They're all called journal making classes for at least, I'd say, the last 6 months, a year. Before that, it was Craft with Me. It's a little bit different, but basically that. So find the lives under the live section and 365 videos under the 365 playlist. They will autoplay. You guys can just sit there and craft a journal and stuff can autoplay in the background. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys have a fabulous night. Thanks for making the journal along with me. For those of you who are new here, thanks for hanging out and giving me a shot. I do a lot of journal making things because that's basically my life. I love making journals. I love making antique French journals or using French things in the journals, but I don't always make that style. We will have many different styles. Like there is a boho kit. There is a steampunk kit. There is, I don't know what else, but some other kits that are a little bit out of my comfort zone, to be quite honest. I don't do super grungy usually, but there's one of those. So yeah, we make different themed journals, right? And so it'll be fun. We'll go on these journeys together. Sometimes you can watch me make my journal and see if you like it. And if you like it, sometimes I still have a kit available and you can buy it like weeks and weeks into me making too. Other times the journal kits sell out really fast and I don't have any available. So it's just kind of hit or miss with the journal kits. But again, you can always craft with us and join us in the lives, even if you don't purchase a kit. It's not about the kit purchase. If you have the kit, great. But if you just want to pull things from your own craft room, you can certainly do that too. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys on Thursday. Get your journals, your file folder journals done so that you can decorate with me on Thursday. Bye, guys. Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you again.